T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it begins.
I don't give a fuck who's on this show, bro. Kylo all day. I don't give a fuck, bro. Kylo is all day, man. I
like her. I don't want you smirking at shit because you didn't see anything to begin with, so shut your ass up.
It's like, yo, you constantly do that shit.
At least we actually watched the fucking episode.
I don't give a fuck.
Eso fue lo que sentí. Todavía siento odio por Hayward. Espero que en el último episodio de la nada llegue alguien y lo apuñale. Eso no. Como que.
¿Cómo se dice, puñeta? Bad taste en película. I admit it. Yo digo que I love watching bad movies on a Sunday.
Oh, I love it.
Está cabrón. That's one of my favorite hobbies.
What's good, everybody? Another Sunday. Back here with the After School Club. And I'm here with my peoples, Naked, Mix, and Liquid. Today's a special episode. Today we got our Star Wars experts here. We got the Triad of Force, Nani, Goose, and Mo. How you guys doing?
Round of applause. Welcome back, guys.
Gracias por invitarnos de nuevo.
Sorry, I was getting my water. My tiny bottle of water.
Hay que hidratarnos siempre.
Keep hydrated.
So,
Hydro
hopefully,
homies.
outside, well, not outside of my window is sunny. But outside a lot of people's windows, it's rainy, it's windy. There's a whole fucking storm happening. So hopefully we don't have a lot of internet problems and shit. We're gonna go through the episode. But like I said, today's gonna be a Star Wars related episode. Most of the topics that we're gonna talk about are gonna be about Star Wars. So let's start off with the main topic, which is the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch just finished this week, 16th episode. I'm not sure. Have they announced? They did announce they're gonna get a season 2, right?
Yep. Verano 2022 viene el season 2. Así que, yep.
Okay, so then let's start off with the Bad Batch. Let's start off with the Triad. What did you guys think about season 1 of the Bad Batch?
I think overall it was a good season. No tengo demasiadas quejas, ¿verdad? La ventaja yo creo que Bad Batch tuvo como Clone Wars o Rebels o Resistance como show animado, ¿verdad? Yo creo que como que tuvo el mejor start de todos esos shows porque no tenía que estar haciendo tanto setup del mundo y los personajes como los otros shows tuvieron que hacer porque como ya tuvieron el soft opening, ¿verdad? En Clone Wars Season 7, pues como ya sabíamos quiénes eran todos los personajes, we know the state of the galaxy y todo, so pudo empezar all guns blazing. So hubo algunos episodios que, like if you go to our podcast and see our reviews, we weren't too thrilled about porque they kind of lost a little steam. We don't like to say que hay filler episodes porque every episode has a purpose, aunque no sea tan bombastic, pero yo creo que overall el show fue sólido, especialmente porque es súper diferente a muchos de los otros shows que Star Wars se ha tirado y está empezando a conectar todos los diferentes shows together, así que it was a pretty solid 8 for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I liked it way more than I was expecting to. I wasn't expecting much from it. Honestly, I wasn't all that excited when they announced it, but I ended up really, really enjoying it. I think it was a really cool perspective to do, from the eye of these, former clone troopers to do the aftermath of Order 66 from their point of view. So I thought it was a really smart way to show us what happened right after Order 66 and a period of time that we didn't know that much about that transition from Republic to Empire. So I've really, really enjoyed it. And I think Omega is the gift that keeps on giving. Omega has been a fantastic addition to the Star Wars universe. And I'm really looking forward to what we see in season 2. So here we go.
Definitivamente. Yo de verdad, I thought it was gonna be like X-Men crossed over con Star Wars al principio. I was not excited. I was like, what's going on here? Pero una vez que empecé a ver el show y kudos to la animación, the music, the score, it's everything. It's so amazing. Como en 26 minutos, menos, en 20 y pico minutos, pueden tener una historia que para otra gente tomaría una película completa y cuidar una serie. Y they're able to do that in such a concise and almost como que un writing que llega al corazón, llega visualmente, o sea, en todos los aspectos como que uno está involucrado en esa historia y quiere ver. No sé si Disney Plus todavía tiene el week to week release, so no es como Netflix que you just binge it, como que estás pensando en la historia, estás desarrollando, como que ves ese, y como dice Nani, la evolución de Omega y ver este personaje que técnicamente, spoiler alert, it's older than all the other clones que están en el Bad Batch, y como ver ese force perspective from
no pun intended.
No solamente el age difference, sino que también un female character versus un completely male clone army. So de verdad que es interesante ver ese desarrollo.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that I thought were pretty fascinating. I think for me, I probably would have enjoyed it a lot better if I would have continued watching it week to week. Like I binged it over like the weekend.
Okay, yeah.
I binged and I was talking with Mix. Filoni style is just it's very. There's a lot of episodes that are very slow paced, and I think if I would have extended, like if I would have watched it week to week, I would have enjoyed it more. What I found really fascinating were like we get to see in the Star Wars universe the Jedi, the Troopers, we get to see the expanded world, but we rarely get to see these small neighborhoods and like the little change of like where so the New Republic is here and you have to change your money to like these core cards and shit and people moving. Like we never got to see those transitions like for the lower level characters, and that was something that I thought was fascinating about the series. How about you guys? Deke, Migs, Liquid.
You want to go, Deke? The Deke freeze?
Anybody want to start, bro?
I'll start it off. So, yes, they did. While watching this show, like at the beginning episodes, I found the Omega character. I was a little annoyed by her. But as the show went on, like I got so enamored with the character because you're basically taking like this sheltered young child and you're throwing her with a whole bunch of mercenaries because that's what they are at the end of the day, like mercenaries, and they kind of grow on each other in a certain way. I'll tell you one thing. I personally haven't read the books, the expanded. Did they ever explain in the books what happens to Camino? Was that ever touched before?
I mean, no sea ciencia cierta, ¿verdad? Porque I did read some of the expanded universe stuff back in the day, pero como que I had fallen off the Star Wars wagon for a long time before kind of getting back to it now. So I'm more like, at least personally, more confident in canon stuff. So I would have to ir a Wikipedia a ver qué dice ahí.
Yeah, because at the end of the series, spoilers, para el que no lo ha visto, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You basically, they show you what happens to Camino. It basically gets destroyed or whatever, and there's a very, like, the last 2 episodes are a very...
Si el episodio se llama Camino Lost, como que no esperen que...
Exacto.
Pero
exacto, no sí que se pelearon.
But I don't know, I mean, again, I don't know who's watched it till the end or whatever, but it's a very, like, weird moment where you have these guys, like, literally... I don't want to say like that was their home, but that's the start of where where all of them come from. You know what I mean? And to see it blown, I think it's kind of like bittersweet for them because it represents something that, you know, they were created for one purpose and then they were disregarded like nothing, like they were thrown away. But also, who the hell likes to see their origin destroyed in front of their eyes like that? It was very like the series. Again, Dave Filoni, like Nick said, he loves to stretch the taffy. I'm in for the ride. I knew that. You know, there was going to be, I wouldn't call them pacing issues. And like you said, I don't call them filler episodes because literally the next episode, like the ending hooks you so that when you watch the next one, it picks up right off. There's no random episodes, like one leads right into the other. But they stretched the taffy, but by the end, those last 2 episodes, I think like they really whipped out the heavy artillery, so to speak. I like the visuals. The animation throughout the whole series was really good, but those last 2 episodes, like they really whipped out the fireworks.
Sí.
So the whole thing, I'm a little lost with if Omega's the oldest one, right? She's
Sí.
the oldest clone, and she's older than the mercenary group. So all of them come from her. She was the last known, like they're all clones of her. Is that it?
At least,
I
por lo menos,
don't understood it that
sí.
way. Yeah.
El understanding que tuve con el episodio es que she's just older than them, pero they all still come from Jango Fett.
Okay. I understood that. So Omega's like, obviously, Boba would have been the first clone, right?
Yeah. And they actually call him Alpha in one of the episodes.
One of the episodes. So if she's the last, okay, she's the last clone, but she's older.
Like
I was kind of
true clone, like a
true clone.
Okay. Yeah, that when they said that in the series, I was a little fuzzy. I was like, wait a second, how the hell do you explain that in the timeline? Because if she's younger than them, but she's the last good clone, like I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Porque Bad Batch fue creado en el Secret Lab ese de Nala Se, y los restos de los clones están como upstairs en el zoológico ese de arriba. Todos esos pods como que normies just created y ellos son como el special lab. Entonces, exacto, Boba Fett y Omega son como direct, unaltered clones. Aunque there's still something to be said si Omega, que es one of the theories, running theories, ¿verdad? Del season que quizá veamos entonces en season 2, es Omega Force sensitive. At this point we don't know porque al principio it was very heavily implied que sí, pero como que they kind of dropped that thread al season continual, so quizás entonces en season 2 they'll pick that up again, pero I think there's still something special about Omega que we haven't seen yet, que quizás veamos entonces en season 2 ahora que tenemos el cliffhanger con Nala Se going to the secret Imperial cloning facility y todas esas cosas, so we'll see.
Yeah, that to me was like, I was like, are you trying to link the whole thing with like there's gonna be clones of the Emperor or something like that?
Oh, like, absolutely.
You're hitting us in the face with that like a brick. Like
that was. I mean, obviously they haven't like uber confirmed it, but like the implication is like there. Obviamente, el uniforme de la tipa que llegó a darle la bienvenida a Nala Se tenía el mismo uniforme de Dr. Pershing en Mandalorian y obviamente clones need to palpy all the time.
I honestly like I dug it. Again, I got really enamored with the bond they all had as a group, like that whole family thing. And the last minutes of the last episode, with I'm horrible with names, don't blame me. The sharpshooter of the group, which is like the antagonist.
Crosshair.
Crosshair, yes, Crosshair, or whatever. That last thing and that last line she gave him, where it was like, you're my brother too, or whatever. I was like, on the heartstrings. I was like, that one touched me. That last, I think, like, me tocó. I'll be honest with you, like, if I were to rate this series, like, out of 5, I'd give it like a solid 4 or whatever. It had pacing issues, but I think the story was pretty interesting.
De momento me asusté porque pensé que era out of 10 y I'm like, whoa.
Visually, it's appealing. The story is you have to, like, I don't want to say concentrate, but you have to buckle down because it does spread out. It is like it doesn't. I wouldn't say it has pacing issues, but it is like,
slow at times.
It's slow at times, exactly. But I don't know if that's. I wouldn't consider it a pacing issue, to be honest with you.
Sí, yo creo que might have been something que it's el problema opuesto in a way que Mandalorian sometimes feels it's like too short a season porque son más que 8 episodios. Estos son 16 episodios, so maybe it could have been like everyone could have met halfway en vez de ser 8 o 16, como que 10 o 12 episodios or something. That way you trim the fat or something like that.
No tan solo eso, but like with Star Wars, with the Clone Wars saga, I kind of feel like everybody was patient because all these characters had history coming in. So you wanted to see a cameo by Yoda, or you wanted to see backstory for like Obi-Wan. So you're attached already to these characters. These characters are kind of fresh, so they have to flesh them out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like it.
¿De qué?
Okay, Sally.
Yeah, porque de que está como que so freeze and so chill and so like in the moment.
Yo estoy dejando que todo el mundo aprecie la serie.
Pues yo voy a ser un poquito discordante porque yo quiero
¿Segura que tú solamente?
No, por eso quiero ir primero que tú porque siempre vamos como que a un gradiente from liking it to finding what's wrong with it. Pero
Venga,
no,
me voy a tomar un vaso de agua, vengo ahora. Te estoy escuchando.
sí. No, yo la quiero como que tratar
No,
on
we're
its
gonna hit
own.
Orengo's comments ya mismo.
Oh shit.
We'll hit it ya
Oh
mismo.
no.
Let's talk and then we'll address Orengo.
Yeah. No, pero honestamente yo la quiero como que like appreciate it on its own. No mencionar como que otras cosas porque sí, it's fair to compare it to The Mandalorian and everything that's coming out with Star Wars right now. Pero to be really honest, okay, sí, el pacing era, you know, pero to me it was a surprise porque yo tampoco esperaba nada. O sea, no es que no esté tan involucrada con el mundo de Star Wars, es que es como que I have to sign a paper that I don't get emotionally attached. Porque you know, so many disappointments and here and there and whatnot. Sin embargo, I do think I think it's not a bad series. Like I could give it like another 8. Me gustó. Es bien un poquito diferente. O sea, it has its own place in the Star Wars universe. And to be really honest, no, I like it because I don't expect a Jedi to come in and save the day. Esta gente casi no se pueden salvar ellos mismos.
Not yet, anyway.
They are not concerned with saving the galaxy. You know, and so they're only concerned to, you know.
Nigga brought a gallon of milk.
Yeah, como que.
Eating milk and cookies, nigga. You got a gallon of milk there.
Bro,
that means that he's getting ready to unload.
Tanta luz que parece. No, pero I agree con eso, porque yo creo que eso es lo que pasó en Season 2 de Mandalorian, que for us it didn't connect as much, es que de momento se empezó a conectar tanto con el main storyline de Clone Wars y de main saga, es como que le quitó como el emotional core que el show tenía en Season 1, so hopefully Bad Batch keeps that going, que como que o sea, siempre se conecta, pero de manera como que tangencial y no es como que es tan forced como en los otros, como Mandalorian fue en Season 2, o fue Season 2 de Bad Batch, can still como mantenerse just the Batch y Omega.
Exacto.
Yeah, and I really think one of the things that they did really well es que esto de los cameos en Bad Batch, the cameos that they did had a purpose. No a veces como en Mandalorian, que it was sometimes kind of forced into the story. And if you weren't familiarized with the character, you would miss the point of why. But in this case, los cameos, like Cut was fantastic, and I loved Hera, young Hera, and I mean there were like actual purposes to these cameos that made it like really enjoyable. And Cad Bane was the best. Yeah, the Ranker episode, and then Cad Bane was fantastic, and Fennec Shan was fantastic, and you know there were really good moments.
Es como el segundo episodio de Mandalorian donde the guy that had the armor de Boba Fett.
Cad Bane.
I felt that so fucking forced. De que todo el mundo estaba como que, oh my god, I love the character here and there, and you know, and I was like, why is he here? He's not relevant to the story right now. He only has a suit. Like, poniéndolo in the nitty gritty, es como que, why are you here? You're not making any sense.
I actually really like that character, though. So to disagree, I actually really like the character, and I think they did execute it well with Boba Fett. I thought Boba Fett in Mandalorian was really, really good, but there were some
totally
like
out when they came on screen. I'm sorry, I was like, oh, I totally.
Oh yeah,
which I thought it was gonna. Para mí va a ser the opposite. Yo como que, oh my god, si van a traer a Boba Fett, oh, this is gonna be so ham-fisted porque can't, you know, momento lo hacen es como que, okay, fine.
Pero la gracia, because me encantó el intro de Boba Fett, pero in hindsight, I didn't like the way that Luke came out at the end. Like it totally like took over the show. You know what I mean? It made Django look like a. I mean, not Django. This guy.
Well, technically, it's the same. Like
Django, it made this guy look like a secondary character or whatever. It made Mandalorian look like a secondary character to me. I was like, man, overshadowed.
Es que acuérdate, acuérdate, es lo que yo te estaba contando hace poco de que cuando un personaje de algo tan y tan grande, o sea, como like a movie, crosses over into a series, que eso es bien raro verlo porque por payments, porque like issues, like, siempre hay una excusa para no traer a un personaje grande y expandirlo. Yo creo que por eso es que Luke overshadows Mando and anything in the Mandalorian is at the end of the season. Porque there's no way. Like, tú no ibas a pensar, oh my God, it's gonna be Luke. Everybody was plotting every single other character except for Luke. Había como que like 1% that maybe we're thinking about Luke, pero who knows? But yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love Luke Skywalker and I want more Luke Skywalker. That the hallway scene I thought was amazing, pero como que en Mandalorian, como que I don't think it was the right move. Yo creo que Luke lo debieron haber usado quizás como usaron a Obi-Wan en Rebels, que like he shows up like for one duel, pero es como que algo súper específico y like not at the end of the season, que como opaca todo lo que pasó, es como tenía que haber sido like, I don't know. I would have preferred Ezra, pero
la versión de Luke que nos dieron también, que that was like, oh my God, like it was everything we wanted in the movies. You know what I mean? Not the whole, you know, the whole monk Luke Skywalker. We wanted the badass.
Pero a ustedes no le pasó que como que inmediatamente como que se preocuparon por la seguridad de Grogu, porque como que empezaron a poner canónicamente como el tiempo y de repente tú dices, espérate, wow, espérate.
He's in the temple.
He's in danger, como que llamen.
Yep.
Es como que este child tiene the worst luck ever. Estuvo en el primer purge de los Jedi en el Clone Wars. Ahora está en el segundo purge con con Kylo Ren. Es como que worst luck ever. Necesita otro Mandalorian que lo rescate.
They never showed Grogu, but I bet you he saw the dark cloak and he was getting PTSD. He was freaking out. Like,
not again.
Yeah, but
okay, R2, open that compartment. We're gonna get out of here.
El que salvó a Grogu respirando viendo eso un monitor, como que otra vez.
Like, why? Yeah. I mean, but it completely took away from like the emotional Din like revealing his face to Grogu, you know, and it just took away from it because everybody's like, yay, you know, look at Luke Skywalker being a badass, which he was. It was great, but it really took away from like that emotional hit that you wanted there at the end of the season. And then the problem right now is now I have like child kidnapping PTSD. Every time there's a show like The Bad Batch, I assume they're going to get kidnapped and taken away forever.
Murdered.
Just like what happened to Grogu.
Not safe in Star Wars. Eso es lo que nadie realize. Es como que younglings, kids, bro, todo el mundo peligra.
What you thought about the show, Deke?
Vamos allá. Ok. A mí me gustó. Si pensaban que iba a decir que no me gustaba, se equivocaron. Pero sí tengo como unas pequeñas quejas, pero obviamente pues la serie obviamente en el periodo que está ubicado, yo digo que es como que la era depresiva de la galaxia, como que todo el mundo está perdiendo, todo se está cayendo, nadie está ganando, nadie está como que ahí cuando la rebelión está empezando. Y obviamente pues yo no me espero como que mucha victoria de estos personajes como en esta, por decirlo así, como que yo no me esperaba una victoria, ya los veía a ellos como The Rogue Squad, Rogue One. Ajá, pues yo los veía a ellos como que todos estos los va a matar el Death Star al final y genuinamente pensé, yo decía, en camino existe como que en el futuro y me quedé pensando y digo, va a salir el Death Star y va a explotar a toda esta gente y es como que me asusté de repente, pero cuando empiezan a dispararle y pues se hunde camino como que me dio como que depre, como que diciendo como que nadie va a ganar aquí, genuinamente si ellos se hundían en el fondo del mar y ponían algo bien poético como que no me iba a sentir mal porque no esperaba que ellos sobrevivieran, o sea, estoy siendo honesto. Encontré la serie repetitiva en algunos momentos, pero encontraba que tenía que ser repetitiva porque pues ellos necesitaban créditos, ellos necesitaban como que otra vez tener currency y tener pues outstanding. Pues en ese sentido como que mi única queja es que pues a veces lo encontraba repetitivo, pero tenía que ser repetitivo por el lugar y el tiempo que ellos estaban. Los personajes que nos dieron cambios no me molestaron, es como que they're tying in las cositas tranquilos, no fue forzado, no fue como que de repente como que sale el espíritu de Yoda hablando con Omega, como que no pasó nada así. Tenía un poquito de miedo con los cambios, que saliera gente innecesaria y al final como que todo el mundo como que se estuvo tranquilo, todo el mundo se quedó en su lado de la galaxia tranquilo. Omega tenía como que mucho misterio de ella, como que todavía quiero ver qué exactamente es Omega, como que siento que hay mucho más de ella, siento que esto es como un personaje que Filoni nos va a dar mucha relevancia en las futuras historias. En ese sentido, como que estoy bien comprometido con ella. Los clones, siento que todos en algún punto de la historia se van a morir, los van a volver a herir. O sea, Star Wars es coger un personaje, enamorarnos de él y matarlo. Eso es como que la ópera de Star Wars. Algo que siempre que yo estoy viendo estos programas, yo estoy viendo como un poquito más allá. Yo sé que esto está, por lo menos está dirigido más a niños por decirlo así, pues, por el estilo de animación. Pero encontré super dark cuando se hundió Camino, ya que enseñaron los embriones sumergiéndose en el agua y es como que, bro, o sea, sabíamos que iba a pasar, pero lo mostraste, ya está en nuestras mentes. Star Wars siempre quiere matar niños y pues pusieron esa imagen, es como que se sobrepasaron ellos.
Star Wars siempre quiere matar niños.
Bro. O sea,
niños y madres.
Por eso, tú sabes la
I think we might get a cease and desist from
This is
Disney.
We literally had this conversation the last time that they were on the show about fucking kids' intestines and shit. We literally had this conversation.
Yo diría, eso es lo que pasa cuando juegan mucho D&D y todos sus backgrounds son el mismo, que soy un huérfano o todos mis hijos se murieron o my family's dead. Yeah, that's no.
Yo quiero ver como que alguien con un buen family background en la historia de Star Wars, como que tenga, como que mira, yo crecí saludable con mi familia, como que quisiera de verdad encontrar un personaje. Creo que no existe ninguno. Algo, ¿verdad? Yo creo que cuando Disney compró los derechos del universo expandido, pienso que escogieron muchas historias y las adaptaron como suyas. Aquí me habían mencionado unos cómics de supuestos clones que intentó hacer el Imperio, de como que resucitar otra vez a todo este programa de los clones, y fueron pues clones de Boba Fett, y me enseñaron unos cómics y de repente mencionaron un personaje que yo me quedé pensando y digo, este será el relevante, como el equivalente de Omega en esto, y como que genuinamente Omega es lo que más me interesa. De toda esta serie, lo más que me interesa es Omega. Qué bueno que hay un Season 2, porque si eso hubiese sido el Season final y no tuviéramos más series, esto iba a ser más depresivo de lo que fue. Ese final de que enseñaron como esta... Yo soy malo para los nombres de Star Wars, ahí me tienen que perdonar, me encantará. Pero si tú eres como con un personaje que te vas a morir 3 películas después, yo no me voy a memorizar tu nombre. Y siento que el de Camino, el que sobrevivió, el que se lo llevó al Imperio, mano, tan pronto vi el uniforme, caí rápido con Mandalorian. A mí, olvídate los clones de Snoke, olvídate los clones de Palpatine. Yo dije como que esto va a ser la conexión a Grogu. O sea, yo estoy buscando todavía el origen de Grogu. Grogu, yo entiendo que es un personaje sumamente... Bueno, todo el mundo lo tiene en camisa, en sanitizer, en vaso, es como que... Bro,
Everywhere.
Grogu is everywhere. Y me gustó, o sea, estoy esperando Season 2, estoy esperando el futuro de Star Wars, que el año que viene vamos a tener como un overload de Star Wars.
Sí, está salvaje.
Vamos a tener como salvaje. Sí.
Bueno, empieza ya mismo, porque vamos a tener Visions ya mismo, que es la versión anime de todo Star Wars. Después viene Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian Season 3, después el show de Andor, después Obi-Wan, después Ahsoka, o sea, como que, y obviamente Bad Batch Season 2 en el verano, o sea, como que va a ser unrelenting.
¿Cuál era la película que iba a ser Patty Jenkins?
Rogue Squadron.
Yes. I really want to watch that for some reason.
Yeah.
Everybody's forgetting about that, but I really want to watch that.
O sea, no sé si hay release date, no sé si es 2023 o 2024, some shit like that, pero no creo que sea el año que viene. Todavía falta un poco.
Todavía falta.
But still, es como que I'm really intrigued. No sé por qué, but I'm really intrigued. Yo creo que de la manera que they exposed it and promoted, como estaban contando, pues, en el anuncio de Patty Jenkins ella estaba pues tratando de relate the story of her father with the pilots, him being a pilot himself, whatever. So yo creo que esa conexión y her involvement in the film is what really intrigued me. So maybe I'm excited for that, and also I'm crazy about X-wings and fucking TIE fighters and shit. So yes,
of course.
To me, it's like yes. All of the yes.
Hey, and the first Star Wars film directed by a woman, so
that's true.
Fuck yeah. Pero yo creo que eso, it's the importance of the ships and porque to me one of the best things is the design that they and the love that they put into the ships, and so como que it's where everything happens as well. It's one of the first things that you remember is a fucking ship from Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon, the X-wings, again, TIE fighters, the silencer. ¿Cómo se llama esta? Oh my god, it was it is. Oh my god, shit, I forgot the fucking name. Sorry. There's a ship that is in shape of a moon, and we had a story about that on the comic book shop but for other reasons. But anyways, we used to play what was the name of the game? Los ships of Star Wars? X-Wing. Yeah. Star Wars X-Wing. Yes.
X-Wing. Yo juego también. Yo sé cuál. Yo creo que. ¿Cuál nave es? O sea, como que. Después me
it's in the shape of the moon. I forgot the name, pero yo sé que tenía un nombre bien nítido y es como que. And the ship was amazing. Has a lot of details and that's. Yeah. I love Star Wars ships. More than anything.
Era un nombre épico. Disney obviamente lo va a cambiar porque Disney está cambiando el nombre de algunas naves. Ya, o sea, si ustedes ven el marketing de la nave de Boba Fett, ya no se llama Slave One, se llama Boba Fett Ship. Es como que, of course.
But I think that was because of the whole, it's slaves.
Sí, yo creo que eso es cuestión de marketing para el juguete. I think it's still Slave One and canon y media. O sea, en películas y libros, I think it's still going to be referred to as Slave One. Yo creo que eso es for kids. Como, okay, no, let's not talk about slaves. Pero we'll see. Ese tipo de cosas como que I don't care about. Como whatever. So the ship's the same. So como que whatever. I'll take my wins where I can have them.
Yeah.
But I'm mute.
Lex, you're muted. Lex, you're muted.
All right, we in here. Listening to Orengo, where do you guys rank the shows between Rebels, Clone Wars? So, we got the saber. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I forgot I had it. Well, it's not mine. It's my wife's, but still, has to make a cameo.
Awesome.
La mía está por ahí, es que no sé dónde diablo está.
So yeah, where do you guys think the Bad Batch falls between Clone Wars, Rebels, so on, the other Star Wars?
What are you doing with my?
That's a good question.
It's a Star Wars episode. I had to put it on.
Who the fuck got my saber?
Yeah, the same moment that I take it out, she enters the room like.
We're about to see a duel
like
take
that
place.
shit is sagrado. We're about to see another kid.
It's gonna be the real duel of the fates. Exactly.
Another family lost because of Star Wars.
You see, it causes even divorces. I don't know, man.
Yeah. So, where do you guys think the show falls?
Yeah, Mo. Mo and Orengo. Come on.
Okay. Habla gringo. Okay. So it's gonna be. So we're kind of talking about like. We've only seen one season of Bad Batch versus having seen the whole Clone Wars 7 seasons and the 4 seasons or 5 of Rebels. I think definitely for a starter season, it probably might be the strongest like debut season in my opinion for Bad Batch. But if we were just to judge the story as it stands versus all the other stories, I will say probably Rebels first, and then Bad Batch feels like an extension of Clone Wars, so I really can't like say like I can rank one over the other. So I'll just say those two, and then that will be my ranking. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I actually agree with Mo. It took me a really long time to get into Clone Wars just because it wasn't my type of animation that I like. So it wasn't actually until we started doing the podcast that I started, watching Clone Wars, which but I ended up loving Clone Wars, especially, season 7 was mind blowing. And I got really into it. And now, you can see how the animation has evolved from that first season. Like even the film, when it originally came out, the animated film, all the way now to Bad Batch, which is like the animation has just gotten so much better. But I do consider Clone Wars, Bad Batch, even though it is its own thing, it does kind of feel like an extension of Clone Wars just because it is the same animation style. And they got the introduction of the characters in Clone Wars. So sometimes, even if it does different things with those characters, it's still really, I think it's basically equal with Clone Wars, even though it, like Mo said, it does have a stronger, since it's season 1, it's season 1 stronger than season 1 of Clone Wars. with Rebels, I got into Rebels really fast. Like I started watching it, and I think I binged the entire first season like in one sitting because I really fell in love with the characters fast in Rebels. So I think Rebels is the highest ranking for me, and I do like the animation style in Rebels more. And I thought Rebels, I think Bad Batch is trying to do what Rebels did so well, which is like the story of the family instead of what Clone Wars does, which is like it gives you like 3 episodes with one character as the main and then like 3 with another one. And sometimes the stories fall short. Like you kind of want it to stay in that arc for a little while longer. Like, wait, what happened to the rest of that story? I'm missing it. And then Rebels does a continuous story of the family. And that's what Bad Batch is doing really well too, that it's kind of sticking to the, the story of them. So, but I still think Rebels so far is the best. But I mean, we get at least another season of Bad Batch, so we can judge it more then too.
Yeah.
No love for Star Wars Resistance in the
Eso es lo que iba a decir.
No love for Star Wars Resistance whatsoever. Like it doesn't even exist. Like,
o sea, lamentablemente
I am biased with Rebels as well.
Resistance is bottom of the list. No, no porque, o sea, it's not bottom of the list because it's bad. It's bottom of the list porque just wasn't able to just find its footing y como que pull the trigger and the storytelling. Porque I'll tell you this, cuando terminó el primer season de Resistance, I forgot her name. She defected to the First Order. I was like, okay, now here we go. Now it shows está poniendo bueno. Pero I don't know, como que season 2, it felt like since they knew they weren't getting a season 3, it felt like they were just wrapping everything up too quick. Y como, no sé, como que nunca tuvo el impetus, ¿verdad? Que Rebels, Clone Wars y Bad Batch han tenido. So that's the only reason que Resistance is at the bottom. Porque hasta la animation style de Resistance I thought was amazing. I really liked it. Yeah, pero no sé, también, it was something about tone, el tone de Resistance. It's animated shows. They're technically all made for children.
Yeah.
So we have to always think about that con estos shows. But I felt que Resistance was too much. Como que too much slapstick y too much. Como que it was falling into Jar Jar territory en cuestión de cómo estaban haciendo chistes. Como que you can be a kids show and not do like stupid slapstick comedy. Pero whatever. Ese soy yo. Pero I have to agree con Nani en el sentido del start de Bad Batch. Bad Batch fue el mejor start. Y como había dicho al principio, es porque they technically cheated, porque ya tenían hicieron el soft pilot en Clone Wars, so técnicamente ya habían empezado allí. Pero hay una extension de Clone Wars Season 7.5. La única ventaja es que aprendieron las lecciones, ¿verdad? De Rebels, y en vez de estar haciendo disparate storylines, es como que, okay, let's just focus on this and do it well. Pero Rebels, I disagree con Nani en el sentido de que I hate the animation style, but el storytelling is so good and so cohesive que it's number one.
It's like blasphemy.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah,
I don't like the noodle appendages and the thin lightsabers. I like the decent set.
We can definitely tell. Yeah, we can definitely tell where they wasted the money on, where they definitely spent money on which series.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel the same?
What you said?
Guys, I said, if you guys feel the same or whatever, because I would put Clone Wars, then Rebels, then Bad Batch. That's the way I would do it or whatever. Rebels, I think it's funny too because I like Rebels, but for the stuff they introduced near the end of near the last season or whatever, like that was the one thing that was like, what, you're gonna do that? I was like, no, wait a second. Like they got really ballsy. I don't want to touch that subject, but yeah, like. We could be here like 4 hours. I'm not gonna get into the whole time traveling thing. But what they did, how ballsy they got with their subjects at the end or whatever. That was why I put that.
Cuando se puso místico con todas las cosas del Force, ahí fue que como que here I am, I'm on board. Pero exacto, es la diferencia con Bad Batch. Bad Batch se beneficia de no estar tocando cosas de the Force, porque como que it's about the military on the ground troops, and I think that's when Star Wars gets strong, when it just stays. When it knows its audience, ¿verdad? Cuando estamos hablando de Jedi and the Force, okay, get mystical as fuck, pero cuando estamos hablando about clone troopers and army people, okay, let's take that out of it. Yo creo que por eso que Rogue One actually works también, porque como there's stuff about the Force, but es como que no, it's all about the people on the ground. Y But sometimes Star Wars kind of gets all those
Unsung
things
heroes.
confused. Mhm.
It's a story of unsung heroes because nadie se entera. Si la película no está, nadie se entera.
Mhm.
When you think about it, and it's kind of sad in a sense, but I'm just glad that we got to see it because it's my favorite movie.
Mhm.
I am gonna be biased. It's one of my favorite movies. Y pues, I don't know, man.
Funny. I saw Chiso put a post that said that Rogue One was the original Suicide Squad. That
Oh
shit-
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Es que eso es lo,
Like, they're
eso
better.
es lo
Pero,
gracioso.
pero they actually do keep the namesake because no one made it out. Suicide Squad, everyone survives, but everyone that matters. Let me
Pero lo gracioso es
clear that
cuando
up.
cuando la gente vio esa película, como que esperaba que alguno sobreviviera, como que fueron con la premisa de que uno de ellos iba a sobrevivir. Yo me fui como que yo no escuché de esta gente en las otras películas. They're dead.
Pero siempre está ese hope de que, wait,
Ese
I
hope,
thought I
maybe-
thought some of them were gonna survive.
Yeah,
maybe
porque
alguien
I didn't think they
sobrevive.
were all gonna die.
tú nunca sabes when they're gonna introduce a new character because they could do that. Like they can introduce a new character. Nobody knows about this character, but this character did more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And again, unsung heroes.
Mhm, mhm.
Nadie se va a enterar a menos que haya estado ahí. So, but everybody died. The whole planet blew up. But in the end, we got our happy ending.
Hey. And we have this best space battle that the Return of the Jedi.
Rogue One was one of the few Star Wars movies that actually had me tearing the fuck up. When Donnie Yen is walking on the beach and shit, I was crying and shit. Yo, that shit caught me.
Not only that, the timing was the movie released when Carrie Ann Fisher was in a coma, right, or something like that.
I don't know.
I think it released. She was having health issues. Like those were the start of her health issues or whatever when it came out.
Salió antes de Last Jedi. And I think she died justo antes de Last Jedi, unos cuantos meses antes. Sí, porque ella murió creo que como que en noviembre o
He
diciembre.
died in December.
I could be wrong about that. But
No, I'm the one that looks up the information in the podcast, so don't worry about it. I'll help you out.
That's work. No, and it was one
December
of those
27, 2016 is the day that Carrie Fisher died. Y...
Also en Rogue One, sí, porque no sé, Last Jedi salió en 2017, ¿verdad?
Te digo ahora.
Because I remember specifically coming out of that movie theater in Puerto Rico, I saw in Dorado, and I was just like, I called Nick and I was like, Nick, yo, this movie's like emotionally like heavy. And then I was like, and I think right now she's in a coma. You know, she made a cameo in the movie. And I think if she doesn't make it out, like, I'm gonna lose my shit or whatever. Like, I think.
and that was one.
Okay.
We got
So,
to fucking go off on niggas.
Okay, so the release date como tal fue en diciembre, entre diciembre 10 y diciembre 16 de 2016. She died December 27, 2016, Jesus. Y Last Jedi came out 2017.
Okay. So
So
like a year later. It was a year later.
They used they used footage for her in The Last Jedi, right? It was reused.
No, Last Jedi, she filmed all of her scenes.
It was right.
They reused footage for.
All right. So I'm totally not going crazy. All right, good.
No. You're good.
Y la que se vuelve aquí loca soy yo, así que más nadie.
Hey.
You like the sad kid on the corner, bro. You okay?
He was having flashbacks. That story was heavy, bro. He was getting
This is your
PTSD.
episode, son. This is your episode.
No, es que cada vez que dicen algo es como que voy y yo me transporto a esa era y es como que me dieron demasiado overload y pues por eso me fui como en un viaje. Entonces lo gracioso es que yo estoy viendo un sanitizer de Star Wars y es como que, bro, what the hell? Como que, anyway, en el caso de, a mí algo que siempre me gustó de Star Wars es que todas estas historias, o sea, tenemos 20,000 tipos de personajes diferentes, tenemos 20,000 tipos de facciones diferentes y cada serie se puede concentrar en una en específico. Y a mí en lo personal, el factor milicia en Star Wars nunca ha sido como que una de las cosas que más me gusta. A mí siempre me han gustado los smugglers, los rebeldes, los Jedi. La historia de Mandalore, cuando todavía no era como que canónica, por decirlo así, cuando la empiezan a tocar en Clone Wars, yo estaba súper hypeado. Cuando empezó a salir todo este lore del Darksaber, yo estaba mega hype. Cuando de repente sale Mandalorian en la serie y de la nada el último episodio nos tira el Darksaber, es como que, era demasiado. Y por eso, pues, para mí, como que en ranking de series, si, ¿verdad? Si Mandalorian contara como serie, pues Mandalorian para mí es top. Después Rebels tiene mucho lore y muchas cosas, quitando el time travel. El time travel es lo que me da PTSD. Cada vez que hablamos de time travel en Star Wars, a mí me da miedo porque eso es una herramienta para escritores bien vagos en Hollywood. Y cuando tú tienes una línea tan icónica como que somehow Palpatine made it back, y tú sabes que estas personas están a cargo de una franquicia bien poderosa, te da miedo lo que time travel puede implicar en una franquicia como esta. Esa siempre ha sido mi preocupación. Mi preocupación es como estos como que loose ends que no tenemos a veces explicación, y ciertos personajes que tú dices como que espérate, y Ezra, o sea, cuando Ezra vuelva, Ezra va a traer otra vez time travel con él, es una realidad que no estamos como que analizando.
Pero sí, ese time travel arregla el desastre de las últimas películas.
Any time travel can fix any type of error, trust me.
Pero también puede empeorar las cosas. No sientan que time travel es la herramienta para arreglar los errores. También piensen que es las cosas para complicarlo y hacer que franquicias se quemen al piso, por decirlo así. En Star Wars, una de las magias que a mí siempre me gustaba era que no existía time travel. Esa es como que una de las cosas que les voy a ser bien completamente honesto. Y yo siento, siempre genuinamente, por eso era mi preocupación que Alex enfocó, mi preocupación es el time travel y cómo todas estas series se estén interconectando para tirarnos otra vez time travel. Esa es mi preocupación, y ya que nunca tuvimos quién fue el que salvó a Grogu del templo, eso es como un misterio que tenemos ahí. La implicación de que vimos otra vez a un Luke Skywalker es como que muchas cositas que yo empecé a atar y me preocuparon.
Like, I'm sorry, Alejandro's comment towards time travel.
Wow,
I'll do it. Thank you for taking it off, Lex.
Oh, my bad. All at the same time.
When you stop it.
Time travel is a great tool. Look at Endgame.
Yes.
Exactly. I thought Endgame was good. I don't know why you talking shit, Rango.
No, but
that's his point. That's his point. That's what the executive probably saw. I was like, ooh, we could take this and apply it to our universe.
Normal. Por eso que yo estoy jodiendo con que time travel fixes everything, porque todo el mundo coge la idea como que, yeah, let's put this in every franchise that we have, because of course that is the answer.
Now that we had touched upon it a little bit, but I want to hear you guys. What do you think is the future for Luke and Grogu? Do you think they're gonna go in Mando season 3? Is there gonna be some type of expansion? Where do you think this is gonna take us?
No sé, yo vi demasiada discusión en Twitter sobre esa imagen porque aparentemente officially licensed por Lucasfilm, pero es como, some artists did some image and Lucasfilm is just like, okay, whatever. I don't like to speculate porque usually I'm wrong. Usualmente everyone is wrong too. So es como que I'll just wait to see. I think the image is bullshit in el sentido de what's going to happen. I mean, one of the things que I hate about Yoda in Clone Wars es que he uses a lightsaber. Y yo no creo que, and I think que everyone at Lucasfilm has learned that lesson. So yo no creo que vamos a hacer like Yoda Part 2, even tinier with the I don't think that's going to happen. But again, usually I'm wrong. So maybe we will get to see Baby Yoda como que jumping around with a yellow lightsaber.
I'm pretty sure you'll see him dual wielding by the time that.
Sí, Baby Yoda va a tener un double bladed lightsaber. I don't know. I don't think Luke's gonna like. He might feature in the show en el sentido de que Pedro Pascal is gonna be like, hey, give me my baby back, bitch. Okay, I get it. Here you go. Pero I don't think he's gonna be on the show that much, if at all, and I hope he's not anyway. I think que Luke makes more sense que esté en Ahsoka, en cuestión de que como que Ahsoka and Luke has to have como que that meeting donde Ahsoka is gonna be, oh shit, I need your dad, y como que, oh my god, tell me all about it. Pero Luke and Mando, please. Exacto. Pero Luke and Mando es como que I am not a fan.
Not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, because if Luke continues to show up, he's just gonna completely overshadow Din. And this is Din's story, so no.
Esto se llama Mandalorian, no Jedi, ni nada por el estilo, ni Skywalker drama.
Si empieza a salir Luke, you might as well just call it episode 6.5 y como que put it in movie theaters, es como una saga nueva y ya, pero Mandalorian is about Pedro Pascal. That's it.
And I kind of hope they continue to talk about Mandalore. And Bo-Katan was another character that I think they did really well and introduced her very well into the story, and she didn't seem forced. And now that he has the Darksaber, I really hope that he gets to know the true lore of Mandalore, because he's gotten the history that he's gotten from like this cult version of Mandalorian. So I think it'll be important for him to find out, more about where he comes from or his people, so he can decide like what path he wants to follow and not just what path he was born into. So I think if they focus on that, it'll be really, really interesting. So
not only that, now he's a leader of like a whole religion and culture. Like, how does that affect the character? He wasn't bargaining for that. He didn't want that. So now it's like, what do you do with all this power?
Exacto. ¿Y dónde están todos esos Mandalorians de season 1? The armor y previous, pre or past, I always forget the name. Que like were there in the covert con él. What happened to them? Y qué pasa cuando, como dijo Nani, cuando ese faction se encuentra con like the legit Mandos de Bo-Katan. So like I think that's the interesting direction for the show.
He's gonna be the glue between the two groups: the people that want to wear their helmet and the people that can take them off. That's about it.
Yeah, King Arthur shit all over again.
Yeah. You can do both.
He's like, exactly. He was like, "What if you keep your helmet on, but you just take the visor off?" Like,
como que, wow,
compromise.
Sí, se van a poner meta aquí con masks mandates. Es como que no. Do you? You're gonna take your mask off. You gotta get vaccinated. You gotta do this.
Sale el ghost de Rivan, que nunca lo hemos visto, diciendo fuck con la máscara puesta, como que
I could have taken it off.
All right, so how about the casting or the casting rumor? It is, I forget shit. I just had his name, but Aladdin.
Made him a suit.
Exactly.
Aladdin, bro.
You know it.
Aladdin, bro.
I don't know, bro. I don't know if you could like use that, just call him that and get away with it. I don't know.
bro.
There might be some racial undertones that are hidden there that you might want to stay away from.
We don't have the viewership numbers to get canceled yet, so we're good. I can say that type of shit here. We're okay. Aladdin is going to be.
We're on the radar.
So yeah, what does everybody think? Is there somebody that you had in mind? Do you think it's a good choice? What does everybody think about it?
Personally, I don't like fan castings porque they're usually wrong or they're usually bad. But in this case, I'm fine with it. I just rather wait and see what's up. But they like get disappointed, like hyping up my own fan cast. Like, let's just see what's up. But in this case, I think it seems perfect.
Yeah.
I just wonder what his acting is gonna be like if you bring him to that character, whatever. I wasn't fond of him in Aladdin, honestly. Like
I've only seen him like in one other thing than Aladdin. I think it was that the John Krasinski show, I think, on Amazon. Fuck, I forgot the name of that shit.
The Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy something.
Yeah, I think he's in that show. But even in the show, the little that I've seen, it's not a lot to really be like, okay, this guy has range.
And you can't really judge him by Aladdin because Aladdin was just terrible. That wasn't his fault. Like it was just terrible.
I totally agree with that. Oh my god. I laughed at the like some of the toxic comments were like, he's too pretty to be. I'm like, dude, it's a Disney show. What the hell are you talking about? Like it was like it was a CGI animated show. What are you talking about? He's too pretty to be the character. Like I'm worried about the acting. That's all I really give a shit about.
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, Jack Ryan. That's the name of the fucking show.
Is that
Jack Ryan y nadie me escuchó genuinamente? Like Jack Ryan, y seguí normal y yo.
Nobody heard you. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you at all.
You gotta up that energy level. You gotta caress the mic and speak into it.
I think it's definitely all gonna come down to how they approach the character, and it's gonna be hard because I think Ezra is one of people's favorite characters. So there's a lot riding on how this character is performed. Because I wasn't a huge fan of Ahsoka so far.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of how the character was portrayed. I hope. Live action. It didn't feel like the Ahsoka we've gotten before in the animated versions. There was something lacking there in Ahsoka and especially the Ahsoka that is supposed to be the one that we get there, which is, you know, white Ahsoka, and with, you know, with the cowl, and that she's completely embraced the idea that she's no longer a Jedi. And you know, where she is in the timeline, I don't think that's the Ahsoka that we got. I'm hoping we're gonna get more that version of Ahsoka during the show now that they're doing. So it's gonna come down to that relationship. And I heard there was a rumor that they also looking for casting for Sabine. So if we get Sabine too, that would be epicness.
Pero con Sabine, it should be Tia Sarkar, like actriz original, the voice actress. I think she should be portraying Sabine because she's already, you know, because yo creo que esto es something actually important en cuestión de estos castings que some people fucking forget en cuestión de, especially like white people, ¿verdad? American white people. Es como, God, let's just put a white person in the role. Es como que, no, these animated characters are racially coded. For like Kanan, como que Hispanic, Sabine has been like Southern Asian coded, Ezra is like Middle Eastern. So como que it's important to like translate esa representación a través del medium, porque it's kind of bullshit como compañía, ¿verdad? Tú decir que está aware de representing like all the people that are consuming your media, pero solamente hacerlo en los libros o en la animación, that not too many people watch it, y normalmente en las películas como que, boom, let's whitewash it and cast a white actor. So por eso es como con lo de Mando Massoud, I'm like, I mean, I don't know if he's the guy that we're gonna cast, but I'm okay because he portrays the culturally coded character de Ezra en el show. So es lo mismo con Sabine. Sabine, yo prefiero que sea Tia Sarkar porque she era la actriz original, but she's also Indian, so es como que she, you know, you maintain that cultural coding. Aunque Star Wars, some fucking racist is gonna say Star Wars doesn't matter because it's in space and there's no racists like in Earth. But es como que if that's your argument, you're an ignorant piece of shit. But whatever.
You don't know anything about it.
I was looking at the picture of Tia Sarkar now, whatever, the voice actor, and yeah, I could see it.
Well, and I mean, they put a lot of, you know, love into these characters when they were doing the animated show, and it translates. I think that's one of the reasons that Bo-Katan works so well, because they use the original voice actors.
I mean, it's not out of the realm. It's not out of the realm of possibility because Katie Sackhoff jumped straight from Clone Wars to the Night Owls on Mando.
Oh, Mando.
It was literally the same voice actress. I mean, she kind of had a movie career before it, but still.
Yeah. They should do more.
So I guess.
Who? Katie Sackhoff?
Yeah.
She's done a couple.
She in Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah, she was awesome in Battlestar Galactica. Yeah.
She was in one of those horrible Riddick movies. She's done a couple of things.
¿En cuál Riddick ella estuvo?
She was in the third one.
La que se llama Riddick, y ya.
Yeah, she was in
I gave up on Riddick, the Chronicles of Riddick. So,
yeah. And she was on another show on Netflix that I never saw, but it exists.
It exists.
Yeah.
It is.
All of this is to say she's doing well. She's fine.
Yeah.
She's making way more money than any of us.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
I read a rumor that they have already like a candidate to play Sabine. And I think it's this chick from Netflix that she did a movie about it's this Asian actress that I don't know, she wrote a letter to all the boys or some shit like that. I didn't fucking name of them. You know what I'm
to all the boys I ever loved.
I think some shit like that.
I wrote a letter to all the boys.
To all the boys I've ever loved. Why do I know that title? Don't ask me.
I know my wife and my sister-in-law saw that shit like 4 or 5 times already. So I know I've seen it somewhere. I know I've seen it somewhere.
Sure, blame them. Blame them.
We talk about Lana Condor.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I think. Let me see.
Pero con ese nombre, ella pertenece al mundo de Star Wars, de verdad.
Yeah, Lana Condor.
She looks really young.
24 años. De Vietnam.
Okay. Interesting casting rumors with them or whatever.
Pues exacto, una de esas cosas como you know, so obviamente because the internet's gonna internet, everyone just gets upset about a rumor. Come on, just shut the fuck up and wait. It's a rumor. Just wait. Don't get angry over nothing. Just enjoy your life and wait for the actual news. And then when it's not what you wanted, also don't get upset because you're not gonna change it. Just fucking relax.
Yeah.
Como mira Hayden Christensen, todo el mundo odiaba fucking Hayden Christensen por episode 2 and episode 3, ahora todo el mundo is having a jizz fest con que he's coming back for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, just
Yeah.
calm down.
Yo no sé si lo dicen porque van a sacar más memes. Right? Yo no sé si lo están diciendo como que they're super excited that he's coming back, porque yo lo veo con un poquito de hipocresía por lo mismo que estás diciendo. So, yo no sé si es por los memes o es porque piensan que esto va a ser como que el fix para la primera trilogía, para the OG trilogy, you know.
I mean, either way, it's a win, right? Porque if you get a meme, you get a meme, and that's a win for the internet. Pero yo creo que es like the latter, porque, I mean, supuestamente, yo no he visto muchas de las películas del post Star Wars, pero allegedly the guy's a good actor, and he's won like Indie Awards por muchos de sus roles. So like, lo que pasa con Hayden, en mi opinión, it's just, you know, he was placed in a tough situation to act with a terrible script in front of blue screens and green screens, and maybe he wasn't used to that shit. So I blame George Lucas in this case.
Yeah.
Porque hasta Natalie Portman y Obi-Wan McGregor tienen like fucking cringe scenes, and they're fucking world-class actors, okay? So como que I blame the creator, I blame GL. So por eso es que yo creo que Obi-Wan Kenobi, el show, va a ser un fix en el sentido de que they're going to have an actual person that knows how humans talk, write the scripts. And not just that, yo creo que vamos a tener, this is just speculation, which I said I don't do, pero flashbacks a Clone Wars, a tener como que Obi, Ewan McGregor y Hayden, like in the Clone Wars armors, have everyone, you know, go insane.
Yo pienso
that would be fantastic.
Yes. Pero lo que yo también estaba pensando era que es como que él es el antepasado de Robert Pattinson. Y mucha gente me va a que no, que si está a favor del idiota el actor idiota de Twilight. No. Es que he was in a bad position, in a horrible role, in a horrible franchise, pero he's a really good actor. Porque él ha estado en un montón de películas afterwards and nobody has paid attention, but he's actually good. Like, he's great for it. Yeah. There's a reason why he's going to be Batman, other than just, you know, making another fucking Batman. Pero I do agree with that. Like, that's why I thought this was going to be the fix for him. Porque, again, nobody has seen anything else and nobody remembers him for anything else than you're the horrible actor from Star Wars. That's bad.
I got a question for the.
But yeah.
I got a question. No, keep going. I got one question for the tribe before Nick comes back. It's a random little topic.
No, just do it. I'm done.
I'm sorry. So, did you guys read about the Thrawn character before Rebels? Yes. I know. That was funny because I had that question before we started the podcast, and that thing was just staring me in my face when you signed on. So you guys are familiar with the character before Rebels came out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say in the books he's way more imposing, obviously, than the children's show?
Well, I mean, I think that it's interesting. It's interesting porque en Rebels yo creo que sí, como que es complicado, porque ahora están tratando de convertir a Thrawn, especialmente en los libros, which I actually do enjoy a lot, pero los libros del canon nuevo are kind of frame him more as an anti-hero, more so than like a villain in el Thrawn trilogy original, which I love, and I still have all those books, pero because he's being kind of reframed as an anti-hero and because it's a kids show, I would be tempted to say yes, pero I mean, de lo que yo recuerdo cuando vi Rebels the first time, he was I still think he was pretty vicious, especially like when he was like doing that bombardment before the Bendu went ape shit on him and just fucked up his Star Destroyer. Pero
in the original books, he was basically like almost like a super fan. I don't want to say it like that because that really downplays it, but he was like basically like Vader's super fan. I want to put it like Was it someone like that, or ideologically, like he agreed with the same things, or?
No, I think de lo que yo recuerdo, y obviamente yo no he releído el Tron Trilogy en mucho tiempo, pero de lo que yo recuerdo, he was just like this, like era básicamente like Sherlock Holmes, ¿verdad? In space. Sherlock Holmes in space working for the Empire. So he's just like cold and calculating, like no emotions invested in this. It's just like, oh, this is what I have to do, and I know exactly how to do it because I'm smarter than everybody. So I don't recall any Vader fanboyism on his end. I usually remember him being pretty detached from anybody because he just, he just.
I was always just curious about that character because I was like, how does he? I want to know how. I'm obviously you should just read the books, right? But I want to know, like in the original books, how he was basically like a menace to, I guess, like the Jedis or what's left of the Jedis, because it's literally, he's literally a guy in a high chair, right?
He is a Grand Admiral, so he's still, he's still in the, he's not in the trenches en el sentido que he's a blaster killing people, but o sea, él no está como Palpatine, que es como que hands off, como que I'm in my throne room, just taking a bubble bath. O sea, he's still like he's in the bridge and he's like giving orders. He's like one of the highest ranking Imperial officials. So one of the things that like make him the most menacing es que at least for the good guys en este sentido no hay Jedi, right? Porque it's post episode 6. So it's still Luke trying to rebuild everything. So like he's just evil, ¿verdad? Porque he's in the side of the bad guys. But he's like a incredibly good strategist who knows what like the rebellion, in este caso the New Republic, is gonna do. And he's just there to like obliterate all of their forces and with his like brilliant strategies, right? And like also con su like Imperial crew, he's just ruthless. Like, you did this wrong after I told you to like do it right. Like, I fucking kill you on the spot. So like in the libro original, he was a little more ruthless in ese sentido. And now he's a little bit more. He has more positive things to say and more constructive things to say to his crew to like elevate them, which I think is a good change because like he rules through like productivity instead of fear. Oh my God, I'm gonna teach you how to be efficient, and vez de ser como any other Imperial commander and just kill you on the spot. No, I'll make you a better commander.
Because I remember, like, growing up, I always heard about, like, a lot of people that read the books were like, oh, you got to read about this character, Thrawn. And when I saw him on the show, I was like, I feel like he could have been so much more darker or so much more menacing. But I was like, I wonder how he is in the books. Because obviously, at the end of the day, like we all say, it's kind of like a kid's show. So they can't exactly push the envelope that much with his character. Would you say, which version do you like more? The TV show or the books?
Yeah, I like Thrawn. No.
That's cheating. You gotta choose the version on the show or the version in the books.
Books.
The books, all right.
I mean, not to say I dislike the Rebels version. Es que, I don't know. And it comes con el territorio, ¿verdad? De interpretar los libros. You're interpreting the book, ¿verdad? Yeah. Aunque estén las palabras ahí como que you're visualizing how you're interpreting it. As opposed to like, porque quizá yo estoy leyendo el libro de Thrawn y I'm reading it darker than what Timothy Zahn wrote. He's like, no, he's actually, this is a good reason. I'm like, oh, that's fucking vicious. And so you project your own interpretation onto a book as opposed to a show. They're just giving it to you.
Yeah.
Pero that's just me being philosophical, ¿verdad? I'll try to avoid answering the question, I guess.
Yeah, the books. I understood it, the books.
Nanya and Mo?
I actually haven't read the books, so I cannot do the comparison, but I thought he was already pretty vicious in Rebels, actually, and especially it being a kid's show. Like, I thought he was a very compelling character, and I loved how he's always 10 steps ahead of everybody, and it's just like, and the way, even the voice acting on it, it's like so mellow all the time. It's like he's completely zen, and he's just doing what he has to do. Yeah. So I thought it was a really good character. I've been meaning to. I kind of want all 3 of the new Thrawn to come out so I can like read them in a row and not have to wait because I hate being left off in cliffhangers in books. So I'm kind of waiting for those to come out and I'll probably read those.
Y por lo menos Timothy Zahn no es como George Martin. He actually finishes his books.
No tienes que estar esperando for Game of Thrones. Exactly. You might actually get to finish it before you die. So like.
Exactly. No,
But
same.
there was actually
same as
casting
well.
rumors for him too, but it's rumors. So I don't want to delve too much into that. My bad. Go ahead, Mo.
I don't know. I was just gonna say same as Nanny. Haven't read the book, so but I loved Rebels and that whole. I'm unfazed by everything. Like the world might be burning around, but I'm just I'll like Thrawn will still be standing there, just appreciating what's happening, the experience. So I appreciate characters like that.
Okay.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good subject while you were away, Nick.
I'm catching up. I'm catching up on Thrawn. All I'm hearing is like in the books, he's like stabbing little kids and shit, and in the cartoons, he's like more zen. He's working at Costco, trying to get everybody to be productive. We can do it this way. I'm catching you.
Like I said, like in the books, he'll kill officials and so Star Search, but it's still como que the same vibe can Rebels. He's still calm, cool, and collected about it. Es como que no emotions about it. Como que I just had to do it so people know what's up. Exactly, in the books, he still has the same personality, but he's just not killing his officers.
For us, it was really shocking. For him, it was Wednesday.
Exactly.
Instead of the way of the house husband is the way of Thrawn.
So, getting off of Star Wars a little bit, who here has seen Free Guy? Does anybody say it? Just Miguel and Decker?
Decker, why are you afraid to say you saw it?
No, I was.
Right. Well, Free Guy just came out. It has really good reviews lately. So since Miguel and Decker, since you guys seen it, what did you guys think about it?
By the way, it has a Star Wars reference.
Porque, exacto. I shouldn't say wondering. There's a Star Wars reference.
There's a Star Wars reference.
Star Wars reference in the movie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Bien presente. Se nota como que el estudio dijo, espérate, ya somos la misma gente que Disney, so podemos tirarnos todas las referencias que queramos.
Sinceramente me pregunté eso cuando lo vi. I was like, was this movie?
Tuvo que ser.
That was a Fox property, by the way. So I'm wondering, was it filmed before the merger or after, or was it filmed after and then they were like, oh, now we can throw that shit in? Like,
el megacambio que aparece en la película es como que cuando él dice what the fuck, yo dije what the fuck con él porque no me esperé como que la película se fuera en esta dirección.
Ryan Reynolds said that. He said that's one of the benefits of working with Disney is you're able to get all those cameos. So I'm guessing that wasn't all done just in post. I'm guessing at least in the filming of the movie, Disney had to have the properties and they just went and changed some shit. But what did you guys think about the movie?
I guess I have to watch it now.
It's one minor reference. Like I mean, it's not minor. It's a reference at the end, but like it's not prevalent through the whole movie or whatever. At least I didn't see anything else. There was just that smorgasbord at the end.
So again, what did y'all think about that?
I thought it was okay. Honestly, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I wasn't like super blown away by it, but it was interesting. It was fun. Ryan Reynolds always does his thing on screen, so he's he's the very cool guy that all the guys kind of like love his witty banter and all of he's eye candy for the women or whatever. You know what I mean? As far as the story goes, it was interesting. I'm gonna be, for sake of transparency, I did fall asleep at 15 minutes at the beginning of the movie. Like I fell asleep for like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my god. I want to say it was because I was tired from work, but it's just some of the stuff in the movie I was just like, okay. And but near the end of the movie you get more the gist of like, it's actually a love story. I guess that's where he got so triggered he walked away. At the end of the day, the movie's actually, I kept on asking myself every time I saw this thing, everybody was like, oh, it's not a video game movie. It's not a video game movie. And then, like at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, this is totally a video game movie. What is anybody talking about? But as the movie goes on,
it's not a video game adaptation. I mean, that's what they meant.
I think what they were trying to say was that the video game, you know how Walking Dead, the zombies are just the backdrop. Like it's more about the interaction between the humans. The video game is the backdrop, but the actual story, it's a love story, dude. The whole movie is actually a love story, and it's not a love story in the sense, because I don't want to give away spoilers. It's not the way they pitch it. of it's an NPC falling in love with a human. That's not the whole gist of the story. There's more to it in the background or whatever.
Entonces, es como un review que yo leí que supuestamente es Ready Player One, but better. And I was like, what?
I like Ready Player One only because I like the book more. To be honest with you, obviously,
of course, the book is better.
But like you said, it's one of those things where like you're adding weight to certain things in the book or whatever. You're visualizing a whole lot of things. But I did so. You know what the problem with Ready Player One is? I'm gonna be honest with you. It was just like it threw so many. The movie threw so many references to so much other stuff that you get like totally despistado from the narrative because you're like you can't focus on a lot of things going on because you're like, oh, look at this and I know this and I know this. Oh, look at this in the background, this in the background, this in the background. I think the movie relied way more heavy on the cameos than the actual story. You know what I mean?
Es que cuando no es lo mismo tú leerlo y leer, todo esto son cameos de Steven Spielberg, lo cual él los redució bastante y él añadió cosas que son más relevantes a nosotros en estos momentos. Qué sé yo, like Overwatch, sí, pero te vamos a tirar un throwback de fucking Battletoads, you know? Vamos a tirarte a Chucky, vamos a tirarte todos estos references that you are gonna know and you're gonna fall in love with because it's something that you do not expect.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot of things that I felt like the book did really good that when they translated to film, I just didn't understand why some of the changes were made.
Porque cuando vienes a ver, no es por nada. It would have been a dick move if Steven Spielberg left all the things from his own movies. Porque en realidad el libro tiene demasiadas cosas que son de Steven Spielberg. So, and since he directed the movie, it would be like a very dick move.
It'd be like him. I don't want to get graphic, but yeah, it'd be like him homaging himself.
Yeah, literal.
Self-servicing.
Exactly.
So I do appreciate the movie and the changes that it made. Me gusta un montón I know we diverted from the whole conversation, pero me gusta un montón que the race, how they made it, instead of the one that is in the book. Pero yeah.
I understand like go ahead.
No, in Free Guy, throughout the movie, the references are way more subtle. Like you'd have to be like, oh, like they catch you. So I'm gonna give one spoiler away. Like there's the tank from Halo. Have you guys ever played Halo, the video game? The tank is in the background. Like it's just nonchalantly like driving in the background. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, I caught it. It didn't slap you in the face with it because you were more focused on what was going on in the story. You like if you catch it at a glimpse of your eye, it feels more like an Easter egg. As to obviously, you know, Ready Player One is just like beating you over the head with all the references. Until a certain point in the movie near the end where it's just like, oh, okay, Disney just threw everything at you, like take this and take this and take that. You like this? Take this. And you like this? Take this in your face, like yeah.
Pero es como pues en Ready Player One también hace la referencia de Halo, pero yo lo vi, pero this is just me because I used to play with my friends. La manera que salen en la película, sale Squad, pero sale Squad en vida real también. Te están enseñando who are these people.
Yeah.
So, en esa referencia, como que I don't mind it, que está en mi cara, because this is something that I lived through. This is like, you go with your squad, you run around, and you're starting like killing people and whatever, trying to win. So, I saw it like that. Pero me gusta más eso mismo, que está un poquito más thorough. Yo tengo que darle pausa y play a la película to see all the fucking Easter eggs.
Right.
So,
Go in Space Jam.
Question. ¿Qué me perdiste? Que tuve...
No, we were just talking about like some people tried to make the comparison between Ready Player One and this movie, and I said that Ready Player One its faults are just like in the cameos and how they beat you over the head with it. When this one is like there are a lot of references in the movie, pero son bien sutil. Like tú no te vas a dar cuenta porque está más envuelto con la historia.
Que por eso es que yo creo que funciona en esta película porque como no está relying en ella solamente. Yo creo que Ready Player One estaba como que super mega heavy relying en todas esas referencias. Como que yo lo veo de esa manera.
Again, they have to be changed, and they like the book relies on every single thing that happens in the 80s. So, como que the product itself, it relies on other things, and they punch you with them either way, either in the movie or in the book. So, como que no tenemos un leeway ahí. En Free Guy, there's more of a leeway, and es como que no tiene que ser tan, no quiero decir gráfico porque that's not the word, pero it's not in your face. Pero yeah, anyways. What's next?
Decade, how's it giving your opinion? What was your opinion on the movie? Because I have a question for you regarding the ending, so go ahead.
Pues mira, Free Guy estaba chévere, estaba entretenida. De verdad que yo rusheé a verla porque, pues, como están los rumores que con todo esto del variante, pues, puede que pase otra vez lo mismo. Sinceramente dije como que yo quiero ver Free Guy, honestamente, en el cine. La vi con ganas de divertirme y no me falló en ese sentido. Eso sí noté. Había muchas personas que ahí es donde tú dices el differential gap de que tú dices, wow, I'm getting old. Había personas poniéndose súper hype por unas ciertas escenas cuando salían ciertos streamers en el cine y yo me quedaba como que, wow, I'm old. Como que wow.
¿Sabes dónde yo me sentí viejo? ¿Sabes dónde yo me sentí viejo? Se lo dije a Nick ayer. I don't know if it's a spoiler, but Channing Tatum, when he comes out in the movie, I was like, they have a shitload of makeup on him right now, and I could still see la arruga on his face. I was like, holy Lord, like, and if he's getting old, that means I'm getting old as well. Like,
por eso, como que, if the stars are getting old, ¿qué va a pasar con nosotros que somos mortals?
We're growing up, no!
I'm wondering if the kids recognize him from, like, Step Up and shit.
Now. Kids?
I don't know.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Now, like, they didn't, I don't know if they saw Step Up, I'm not going to say, but Step Up came out when I was fucking, what, I think I was...
Like 18, 20?
18? I think it was around 18 and shit.
Pero te voy a responder algo.
They know me from that.
Sí, I've never
seen my little cousin.
Porque un nene en el cine dijo, my name is Jeff. Y yo dije, you know. So yo digo que todavía lo reconocen, pero it was funny. A mí me encantan ver estas películas en el cine porque cuando tú ves como reactions de gente que te hace disfrutar la película más. Y por ejemplo, con que ese nene normal dijera, my name is Jeff, me hizo reír. Y yo como que le funcionó. Y hay muchas referencias que ahí tú ves como que sí hay referencias para nosotros, pero también esta película ya, yo siempre lo he dicho, uno volviendo un chispito a Star Wars, como que las nuevas 3 trilogías, yo siempre digo que es más market y dirigido a nuevos, o sea, new kids, más que a nosotros. Y siento que esta película Free Guy también va por ese camino y la mayoría de las películas va a ir dirigida a otras generaciones, es una realidad. Pero Free Guy, yo entiendo donde la gente dice que se cayó, que se enfocó demasiado en el romance. Y yo digo como que...
Okay. So then, do you agree with that?
Ok, mano, aquí es donde yo me voy a poner bien filosófico. Lo que pasa es que... hay una película,
Sneak peek, everybody. Deck is a sucker for a good love story, so...
No. Yo no sé si ustedes vieron Weathering with You. No sé si han visto esa película. No, escúchenme.
It's so good.
No, escúchenme.
Weathering with You is so good.
Any chances in a love story?
Escuchen, por favor. Weathering with You trata sobre esta lluvia que no para nunca en Japón, y en Japón está lloviendo todos los días, y llega esta muchacha que tiene el poder de como hacer que no llueva, mientras, pues, ¿verdad? Ella ora o está presente en un sitio, ahí deja de llover. La historia obviamente es pues una historia de romance, pero cuando el director la hizo, con la razón que él explica que él está haciendo este tipo de películas es que a la gente hoy en día se le está olvidando la premisa de lo que es querer y lo de que es el amor. Nos estamos centrando demasiado en otro tipo de películas. Yo pienso que el amor es esencial para ciertas historias. Yo estoy completamente de acuerdo. Yo no pienso que el drive de nosotros es solamente disparar, matar y como que get rich, como que yo siento que a nosotros como humanos nos mueve un poco el romance. Mucha gente no está de acuerdo, pues parece que pues, ver eso en películas. La película sí se enfoca, pero como tú bien sabes, Miguel, en esta película más se enfoca en el friendzone, y tú sabes que realmente se enfoca en el friendzone esta película. Bro, si no lo viste así, no estabas viendo la misma película.
I mean, maybe I found that in like the first 15 minutes I fell asleep. Maybe that was in there. Like
la entrevista del principio básicamente te dice que el creador, o sea, el designer del juego está en el friendzone por ella en la entrevista. No sé si llegaste a ver.
I fell asleep. I might have fell asleep during that part. Seriously, you see, I did miss something important then.
Pues por eso. Entonces, algo que quería...
No. Okay, no. I did get that. I'm sorry. You're talking about the guy from Stranger Things, right?
Yeah, the Stranger Things guy.
Okay. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Él estaba en toda la película en el friendzone y estaba solamente enfocada en Guy. Pero cuando hubo una parte en la película que yo dije, oh, so this is this kind of movie, de como que love find its way, porque había un mensaje oculto en la película que I'm a little freak en el sentido de como que a mí me gustan mucho los soundtracks de otras películas, y esta película tenía el soundtrack de Paperman, el corto de Disney, el de los papelitos, no sé si recuerdan ese corto. En blanco y negro, exacto. Pues el soundtrack de esta película era el de Paperman y yo decía como que porque esta película tiene el soundtrack, ahí fue que empecé a desconectarme, decía porque esta película tiene el soundtrack de Paperman, como que eso me sacó un poco, y después como que vi cómo se estaba envolviendo la historia y vi en qué dirección se estaba yendo y yo decía, oh shit, esto no es un action movie completamente, esto está centrado también en la premisa del amor, la amistad y todas estas cosas, porque lo ves presente con el personaje de Guy y su mejor amigo. Y en ese sentido, ahí es donde yo entiendo que pues la gente quería ver que siguieran con la matanza, destruyéndose, matando, disparando.
I don't think it's la matanza. I think at one point in the movie, you reach a point where you're like, I wanted it more to be about Ryan Reynolds' characters than those two characters that were in the background and their reason. I don't want to get to spoiler territories, guys, but their reason for creating him. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, I would have preferred the narrative to be focused more on now what more is going to happen with this NPC.
Pero no caíste en la realización de que poniéndolo en un story point view, como que el juego no puede salir más allá de ser un juego. So, por lo tanto, te tienes que ir un poco más centrado a lo que va a pasar en el mundo real. Tienes estos personajes que son importantes, tienes que verlo de esta manera, que el personaje de Ryan Reynolds es como que una integración de ellos dos. So, sí tienes que ver qué pasa con los creadores de ellos. Y obviamente ya yo en esta película yo sabía de un punto que Ryan Reynolds no va a salir del juego, no va a pasar nada más allá de ser un NPC, por decirlo así. So, que él saliera al mundo y se quedara con la muchacha.
No, I didn't expect that, but I just wanted them to the story to take a point of like, I felt like at one point in the movie there wasn't much weight to what was going to happen to Ryan Reynolds' character. Like there wasn't until a certain character started destroying his world. Besides that, like no había más peso. Like it was just Ryan Reynolds AI becomes this expendable character, and you kind of framed the marketing and everything around this one character, and he's secondary at the end of the day. Like it's really not. It was good subversion. I'll give him that. But by the end of the movie, I'm like, me dio gracia al final. Okay, tú sabes a lo que me refiero, ¿verdad? Sin entrar mucho spoiler territory. Al final de la calle. Lo de la calle.
Lo de la calle. Que por
eso me quedé como que
pensaba que iba a pasar lo predecible de todas las películas. Como que me eché para atrás en el asiento, como que, ¿is this movie gonna go there? Como que me asustó un poco, como que.
It was too notebooky for me, honestly. I was just like, it doesn't fit the tone for an ending to this movie that to me was more about. I wanted it more to be about Free Guy than their stuff or whatever. That's the only.
Cada cual tuvo su final. Lo que yo estoy de acuerdo contigo es que ya en el segundo acto, como que ya no es centrado en el protagonista, es centrado en los personajes secundarios. El antagonista, como que le dan. El antagonista se sentía, y yo creo que es el propósito de la película, se sentía como un spoiled child. Y ese enemigo final que sale en la película sin dar spoiler, también lo sentí mega forzado, como que me hizo reír en cantidad, pero no sé, como.
I felt like it was one of those things where it was like, again, he represents love and he represents like the violent, like it's the gratification side of everybody in the world, and it's like love is gonna prevail. Like
like no, bro, my
love is gonna prevail. Sponsored by Disney, bitch. Sponsored like that. That's the way that felt at the end. Like
so se tiraron un Batman y Anakin, some shit like that.
Se tiraron un Her Name is Martha al final.
En la película me reí because one of the coders to the guy that's we're totally fucking this movie up for people. I'm sorry. One of the coders.
No deberíamos ni hablar de ella. Vamos a cambiar el tema. Yo no sé por qué. Estamos hablando de 2 personas de 9 que vieron la película.
Ya odio personajes que ni siquiera he visto.
Blame Nick brought it up. I told him to stay away from it.
Vamos a brincarle el tema, como que no sé por qué.
Pero escucha, la última crítica que tengo, me dio gracia how in a certain scene a character says something and they pass it off as subtle, like his reason, like, you know, a certain character's reason for existing within the game, they give an explanation towards it, and I picked it up like quick. But at the end, they like she thought about it. I was like, how is that not like they hit you in the face with that like a brick? How was that subtle? Like, why is she like, oh, I get it now?
La película se encargó de cortártelo en la cara, so se justifica porque el personaje está tan centrado en algo que no está viendo los detalles alrededor. Es como ahora mismo tú no te estás centrando en que en tu X-Wing te están atacando atrás and you're not like up in the shields ni esquivando.
But that's the thing. If I was actually in my X-Wing and I was communicating with you guys, I think I'd feel a fucking blaster hitting me from the right side of the, you know what I'm saying? From the right side of the ship. Like, I think it would kind of like ring out a bell like, oh, wait a second. You know what I mean?
Ya, pero ya no hablemos de Free Guy, cambiemos
pero,
el tema.
Pero también, pero escúchate, también refuerza tu cosa de friend zone, because él le dijo eso y ella como que ni le prestó atención. Lo siguió por ahí para abajo.
Yeah, fuck you, Miguel.
Yo lo decía, en este momento, I'm ignoring you guys to the fullest.
All right.
En este momento, I've been ignoring you guys for the fullest without
it's
like
not,
shame.
Dude, it's not. I don't think it's gonna the movie's not gonna change your life, so I don't think it's one of those movies where like you're gonna I'm fucking up for you guys. It's not like Star Wars level epicness in this shit. It's silly fun. So
way to bring it back home, Miguel.
Thank you. Oh, I could have brought it way back more. I could have totally brought this full circle. I just don't want to spoil it for you. Trust me.
No.
Good job. Next. Next.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about with the Delta variant coming up. Shang-Chi is gonna get that 45 theatrical window. Not gonna get no Disney Premiere access. What do you think is gonna happen with Shang-Chi? I'm excited for Shang-Chi. I don't know really shit about the comic. I never read the comic books, so I'm going into this fresh. I don't know what to expect. For me, it feels like the Asian I guess version of Black Panther. They're gonna get this superhero is gonna be in front and center, but it really does feel like a shitty time.
Go ahead, do it. You want to call it Asian Panther? Go ahead. I know that's what you want.
Asian Black Panther, bro.
Asian Panther. That's what you want to call it, bro.
Whatever. Shang-Chi crap. I don't know, nigga. But what I'm saying, it feels like a shitty time for this movie to be coming out into the movie theaters.
But I think it's gonna happen.
The MCU is getting fucked porque todo se está atrasando. Sony ya atrasó Venom por un par de semanas, but it's still there. So I think it's gonna,
I think with a lot of what's happening with a lot of movies, I think this movie's gonna bomb hard. Yeah. This movie's gonna bomb.
Es que por lo menos para mí, especialmente cuando lo comparas con Black Widow, que Black Widow had like an insane amount of marketing, like había anuncios everywhere, como que están haciendo promos como Scarlett Johansson, here she is, and she's back in her movie. Y de momento con Shang-Chi es como que here's Shang-Chi, and you can't watch it at home, but we're also not gonna promote it. O sea, como que they're setting it up.
Vamos a sacar el trailer el día del cumpleaños del actor, but we're not gonna do anything else. Es como
Exacto.
What the fuck?
Y es como que it's disappointing, ¿verdad? Porque es the first like Asian superhero in the MCU y como que están haciendo like it seems, I mean, I'm not sure if it's willful en ese sentido, but it seems like they're just sabotaging the movie, especialmente con lo de quitarle lo de Premier Access. No sé why they would even do that, especialmente con el Delta variant going around.
Yeah. I think the whole Premier Access thing was just because of the vibes it gives off with the whole lawsuit now that's going on with Scarlett Johansson or whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you, like I do feel bad like for this movie because it kind of like represents a certain demographic or whatever, and it's like they're really like, how can I put it?
It is a very important demographic because in recent years, because they've been suffering from racism and people beating them down out of fucking nowhere in the streets. Like they're minding their own business, and like in more with the coronavirus, people are blaming the Chinese for this, and it's not them. Jesus Christ, yes, it happened there, but it's not them. Like,
exactly.
Not only that, but I told Nick, no es
la vieja que lleva 20 años viviendo en San Francisco.
I told Nicholas, I was like, I can't say like, oh, this movie's gonna represent them in such a different light because I haven't seen the movie. You know what I'm saying? For anything, this could be horrible and this could be like totally, you know what I mean? Like this could be totally a controversial movie, which doesn't do them any favors. But I think they deserve their fair shot. You know what I mean? Like, and it just so happens that the whole COVID situation is really messing this up, like in a bad way or whatever. And I think so from what I heard, it's a 45-day window, and then it goes. They haven't said. Bob Chapek never said if it's gonna go to a premiere access on Disney or if it's going straight to Disney Plus. But it's 45 days and that's it, dude. Like that's it.
And yeah, it's like we were saying, like what you had just said. Like I don't know how much people are gonna relate to it, like in China, because I feel like it's gonna represent Chinese Americans, which I feel is very different. It's like African Americans and people that live in Africa. There's a huge difference. When we saw Black Panther, like T'Challa was African and Killmonger was African American. Like the way they talk, their style, like their mindset, like it was very different. So when it comes to Shang-Chi, I don't know, because just like how Mulan bombed over there, I don't know in actual China how much they're going to really appreciate the film versus Chinese kids that grew up in California. You know, Chinese kids that grew up in San Francisco, they're going to see the streets. They're going to know where Shang-Chi is hanging out. They're going to be like, yeah, I do that with my friends. I'm wondering, like, you know, the little things that they're going to have in the movie that Chinese Americans specifically are going to be able to relate to. Like, if there was a movie about, you know, Spider-Verse, when Miles is getting ready to school and his mother got the Hokun Gandule, like, we saw it and I was like, Hokun Gandule, oh shit. He was saying, like, little things that we were able to
Have you seen the game? Have you seen the game?
No, I haven't
in the game, dude. The game, they go ham on it. Like, there's a Puerto Rican Day festival in the street going on. I think there's like Imael Miranda playing in the background. There's like, there's like, she's literally cooking pasteles.
Yes.
His mom is cooking pasteles in the kitchen.
Mira, esa desgracia tiene arroz con gandules, tostones, ensalada de papa, tiene tiene lechón en el horno. Si tú miras en el horno, tiene lechón allá adentro. Cuando está en la mesa,
lo depresivo es que tú te quedas viendo la comida. Es como que te quedas viendo comida así y tú ves el play.
That's what, like, when I was a kid, it wasn't something that it didn't have any gravity. For me, that I didn't see a lot of other New York Puerto Ricans and shit, and like representation didn't matter until I got older. Till I got older and realistically, when I saw that shit, a kid, Puerto Rican in New York, hearing hip hop, hearing arroz con dole, speaking mad bad Spanish and shit, that shit almost brought a tear to my eye, yo. I was like, that's me, son. That's
for me.
Yo. Like,
for me, it was funny. It was like representation doesn't matter until you see yourself represented in a good light.
Exactly,
then it's like it hits you in the face like a brick. Like, oh, that's what that feels like. This is important. Like, you know what I mean?
Pero a lo que estaban diciendo de African versus African American, es como que estoy tratando de make sense without reading anything, porque me gustaría leer sobre el tema, cómo se sienten las personas que ven estas películas en otros países, pero la única premisa que yo voy a poner así, como que I'm gonna plant the seed, es que no va a ser lo mismo por el simple y sencillo hecho de que ellos ya están viviendo esa cultura. They're already experiencing that thing, that what makes them and what makes their culture, and you know, so yo diría que it's gonna resonate more with people that have heritage and people that are mixed, you know, and people that were born out of their you know, not their countries of origin, you know, their countries of heritage, como tal, porque you know,
I think it's always gonna. I think
they're
always.
Lo que pasa es que no quiero que mezclen esto como que, go back to your country kind of shit, porque that's not it.
No, of course not.
So,
no, that's not.
Por eso de que no, o sea, la gente en Estados Unidos, you know, they have going a little bit into politics. They're, you know, being oppressed, they've been misjudged, and they've been criticized, and you know, people are racist towards them, and they've endured violence, comments and insults and everything. You name it, everything in the book. So yo diría que it's more of people that are born in the United States than the people that are already in their culture. Maybe they're gonna feel represented that another place is acknowledging them instead of badgering them, like the Americans usually do. Porque hablando de Shang-Chi, o sea, ¿cuántos cómics no hemos visto de Marvel o DC? Ninguno se salva. So para que no haya preferencia, es que how many representations of Asians were painted yellow with like very funny eyes and the long mustaches and you know, that kind of shit. So
one of the villains isn't even coming out in the movie because he literally was like an Asian stereotype.
Well,
Yeah,
and Doctor Strange, the oh my god,
The ancient one.
oh my god, I
Ancient
forgot her
one?
fucking name. Still, the ancient one.
Till-
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking all of a sudden, the momento is a white woman from the
Whitewash,
UK.
yeah. Exactly. Como que,
Digo, I love
what the
Tilda
fuck?
Swinton. No hate to Tilda Swinton,
Yeah.
pero she's definitely not Asian.
Yeah, she delivers in every role that she's in. She delivered, and she did a good job. Pero hasta ella yo creo que estaría de acuerdo de que it wasn't a good casting.
It wasn't. It wasn't. She's a great actress, and
Yeah.
like we had said before. Like I would love to have seen her play like somebody like the Joker, like female version of the Joker. I think she would be badass.
Oh yeah, yo estoy
But,
loca de
yeah,
que alguien diga, vamos a hacer la película de Thrill Killer en live action. I would love that.
But it's,
Anyway,
like I said, when you get older, you realize how important that representation is, especially in the times that we're living, specifically with what's going on with the Asian community.
Exactly.
I think honestly it's gonna come out, but I don't think they're gonna be able to, like every movie. I don't think they're gonna be able to please everybody, dude. Like there's gonna be some like portion of people that are gonna feel like they weren't represented
But
correctly
that's
in the
what
movie.
I'm-
Whatever.
I'm-
Like
I'm
even
wondering-
mira nuestro propia digo nuestro, ¿verdad? Pero like look at like
In the Heights.
in the Heights, like you know what I mean? How divisive that movie became. You know what I mean? And it tried to envelop a whole bunch of people, whether he did it the right way or the wrong way. Again, like the opinions are out there. You know what I mean? So it's a tough bar, dude. Like it's difícil. You know,
especialmente con coronavirus, que es como que that's the complicated thing, por lo menos en mi opinión, en cuestión de medir como una película está, ¿verdad? Did en cuestión de su recepción, porque es como que there's so many factors ahora que we didn't have 2 years ago en cuestión de, okay, the movie bombed or it didn't bomb. Era bastante binario. Now es como que, well, did it really bomb? Porque ahora con Suicide Squad, everyone's saying que it bombed, pero es como que, but did it really? Porque entonces los numbers de HBO Max, pero so it's complicated. Entonces después lo comparas con Disney, Black Widow, like, okay, the people that went to the movie theater versus the people that paid for it for premiere access. So it's like so complex right now. It's como, okay, like the people that actually wanted to go see it, but then didn't for fear of the Delta variant and esas cosas. So it's not as black and white anymore about people just didn't show up. Now it's like people just can't show up or don't have the ability to show up. So por eso es que toda cosa con Shang-Chi is kind of upsetting porque it just seems like well, I'm not going to say Marvel, because I'm sure Marvel wants it to succeed, and I'm sure this is more of a Disney thing. Come on, okay, just let's not give it the marketing push it needs because fuck it, because we just need to release it, and it just needs to be out there. Es disappointing, especialmente cuando lo comparas con Black Widow, que they went all out en cuestión del marketing.
They went all out marketing and then said, "No, we're not giving you a little bit of that change." So they went out.
It was sketchy. Ese contrato a mí me gustaría leerlo porque ese contrato está bien fucking sketchy, ¿verdad?
¿Sabes lo que me dio gracia? I saw a report though. It's confirmed that supposedly The Rock had the same issue, and they renegotiated his contract for him to get a bigger cut. Like at the end of the day, I was like, "Whoa!"
You know that The Rock is gonna put asses on the seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Make money off of it.
Yeah,
but
that's
the world that we live in right now.
It's heavy considering that. I mean, I love The Rock. He's charismatic, but he can't act. I'll say, especially when you compare it to Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson's a legitimate actress.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Out of those two movies, we've gone back and forth, me and Nick, in that one. I didn't like Jungle Cruise like that at all. It was kind of, I mean, it wasn't cringy, but it was just like I got really bored with it, and it was like there's some things in that movie that don't make sense. And Black Widow also has some things or whatever, but out of those two movies, I would say that Black Widow was better. Honestly, like out of Jungle Cruise and Black Widow, that guy got pissed.
Jungle Cruise no la he visto porque I'm not going to pay Disney Premiere to just watch a movie. I'm going to just be, okay.
I saw that movie while traveling the high seas. I was not paying to see that movie. But I saw it. I talked to Miguel. I think I called Miguel while I was seeing it, and I was like high as fuck. I was on cloud 9, so I was laughing at everything in that fucking
movie. Nick was under a state of he was not in his right mind watching that movie. So when Nick called me and was like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha," I don't know what it was. I was like, "You're under a state. You're under the influence. Like you're either drunk right now or you're high because that movie. There's not a scene in that movie that would make me laugh that hard." So You need to watch it under a sober mind to really.
But that's what I'm saying. It's different when you compare Jungle Cruise and you compare. I'm hearing what it says. When you compare Jungle Cruise and when you compare Black Widow, because lamentablemente in the world that we live in, it's like when you compare female athletes to male athletes and why they get paid more is most likely that Scarlett Johansson, they don't feel
What are you
that
trying to say with that? What are you? Are we gonna get
that
spicy
they
here?
have more that they were willing to renegotiate with The Rock versus Scarlett Johansson because they feel that they're probably gonna gain more money working with The Rock than with ScarJo.
Cuando it's actually the other way around.
I
Pero
would think
trying to bring it a little bit back. Aren't we kind of glad that no Star Wars movies are gonna come out like anytime soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm
glad.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm glad. I was thinking about that the other days. I was like, could you imagine them sinking all that money into a Star Wars movie and trying to release it now? Where, like, honestly, if you release, I expect that when a Star Wars movie comes out, like, I'm gonna get a continuing story not too far behind. You know what I mean? Cinematically. So I'm like, dude, to say like, because what was it? Okay, so Rogue One was the last movie that we saw that it was like, this isn't you're not gonna get a sequel to this, right?
It's like a
No,
technically,
Solo.
Okay.
Solo.
Well,
And-
Solo might have become a trilogy, but that bombed. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
So
when you have the director talking shit about his own movie, it's all kinds of fucked up.
So to release, like, I'm gonna release a trilogy in this state, and like lo que está pasando ahora mismo, it'd be painful to see what the numbers would be and where that would take them. Like,
Yeah.
Sí, pero también Star Wars siempre ha sido como que diferente en el cine, o por lo menos en mi opinión, porque la gente le gusta, la gente le gusta compararlo con Marvel porque, mira, Marvel's doing more numbers y pero es que Marvel there was always a lot, always, y como la estructura siempre ha sido like a rapid fire movies thing, porque it's the same thing as comic books, ¿verdad? Más o menos. Star Wars siempre ha sido, cuando siempre ha habido Star Wars, cuando era de George Lucas, era one movie every 3 years, y de momento silence for 20. So es como que siempre build up, de como que the next Star Wars movie. Y de momento you gave me a movie every year, so you desensitize people, como que, no more Star Wars. So si hubiesen seguido con esa fórmula ahora con Corona, like, I think Star Wars would just fucking disappear, maybe, porque la gente se va a cansar, porque Star Wars does not, por lo menos en mi opinión, does not work that way, de como que every year we're gonna get a movie. It thrives on absence. Okay. Mientras menos Star Wars hay, it's better for the box office.
And it feels like they're like generational space operas too. Like they don't like Marvel movies feel like the events take place like within months of each other or within years of each other. This one feels like you jump times, like gaps in time, like that are like really long, and you're catching up with what the fallout was of each trilogy. You know what I mean?
Have you guys been to Galaxy's? It's called Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge.
No,
not yet. Not yet.
Have you guys?
So, si no cancelan Star Wars Celebration el año que viene, then I'll be able to go.
I was this close.
So
it's the only thing I could get. And a K2XO keychain. That's the only thing I could get because I went to Downtown Disney. That's the only. I was this close.
I'm going next month with my son.
Oh,
Excited.
Yes, I know. I hate you, Miguel. Oh my god.
wow.
Anyways,
I want to say I'm going next month with my son or whatever. My son lives in Puerto Rico, so he's coming down here for vacation. And I'm like, you bet your ass we're going to the parks. But with all the numbers climbing and with everything going, like, I'm hoping, you know what I mean, that shit doesn't get worse. And obviously, I'm like this close to, like, if I take him to the park, I'm sticking him inside of like a bubble. You know what I mean? Like,
Bubble boy.
You know what I mean?
no, pero créeme, reserva con anticipación porque es.
Oh no, ya está. That's the thing. That's the thing. Ya está reservado. Like,
good.
You know what I mean? I bought all the tickets already. So this plane either leaves or it crashes and it burns completely. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
have you guys heard about what is it? The Star Cruise that Disney is making? It's a hotel that doesn't leave. I guess the windows have like LCD screens that make you feel.
Wait. Time out. We were wrong. There's an actual cruise liner that's coming out.
No, there's a cruise, but that's not the one that we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
There's a cruise that's coming out that what's themed is like 2 bars within the cruise. Like there's a bar area in the cruise that the windows are like LCD screens. So it looks like when you sit there, you feel like you're traveling through space, which is different than this motel, this hotel crew that doing that. It's
a motel.
Hotel.
Hey, that might be a thing. You could, especially in Puerto Rico, you might be able to sell that.
Lo pones en Cagüey ya. El Star Wars motel.
Oh, what? A little cantina area. You're good.
Had a little thing playing the flute.
Mira, se puede llamar The Force.
The Force.
It can actually become The Force.
But
those cease and desist letters are getting typed up as we speak right now.
Yeah.
From what I understand, it's supposed to be like a Westworld type of experience, where you stay there and it's like a story is created. Now, obviously, we ain't gonna be going there. I don't think anybody's gonna be paying $4,000 for a Saturday and a Sunday to go over there.
Yeah, son 2 días. Yep.
Yeah, 2 days for like 4 G's. That's a lot. That's steep.
O sea, son 3 días y 2 noches, some shit like that. Pero son como $6,000 total, like for 2 people, some shit like that. Como que, who's this made for? Not us.
Not us, pero eso es como que ese va a ser mi velorio porque, I mean,
I was telling Nick, I was like, the people I know that would love to go there, that like really hardcore fans, like the first thing that they would get mad is that they paid all this money and there's kids next to them ruining the like. I wouldn't be like that. I would love to go and be like, I deal with the kids or whatever, but I know that there are people be like, you're ruining the experience for me. Tell your kids to shut up. Like,
pero eso es lo que está cabrón, porque Star Wars was always for kids. It's like, okay, now grown ass men being like, I want to be invested in this. Como cabrón, this ain't for you. Go the fuck up. Go the fuck up. Go to work. Pay your taxes. Cabrón. Let the kids have fun.
Te puedes guiar de Anakin. O sea, te puedes guiar de Anakin.
Exacto.
Lo miras y se voltea.
Eso debe ser un VR experience. Eso no puede ser real.
Cutting down kids and shit. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, if it's a Westworld experience.
What is wrong with you guys?
Dude.
It's literally Disney World. This is for the kids.
Pero dudo que un niño pueda pagar todo eso. Es como que esa experiencia.
Un niño no lo va a pagar, pero su padre que tiene dinero quiere llevar al niño para el hotel. O no lo puede dejar solo.
It's funny because even the packages that were announced don't really sound family friendly. It's 3 packages from what I heard. It's 2 adults. It's 2 adults and 1 child.
Families, bro.
It's
not
2 adults
and
1 child, and then it's 3 adults and 1 child.
This is for families. This is for families that basically chose not to have kids and save their money, bro.
La manera que interpreté el de 3 adults and 1 kid es como que if you have like a teenager, yo entiendo. Entonces 3 adults, entonces los 2 papás, el teenager, entonces like a younger child. Obviamente no han tirado demasiados detalles, so like I don't know, but that's how I interpret that one, porque otherwise, entonces un swinger, que como que está ahí, los papás con el swinger.
It could be a polyamorous relationship.
Exactly.
No, but think about it. Qué sé yo, si son swingers, I don't know. Maybe es una fantasía. Like, I want to like date somebody in space or something. Ya que pues, we're this close going to Mars.
Nosotros tratando de mantenerlo PG because we have guests and the guests are getting out of line. Mira para allá.
It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Fact of life.
I think that's how we like it, Migs. I think that's how we like it.
All right, so yeah, recently Miguel here was the one that hooked us up with the leaked image of Moon Knight.
Oh yeah. I forwarded to you guys. Yeah, thank me for that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, like, what do you guys think about that outfit? It seems very comic accurate.
Yes.
Depends on what version you read, though.
Yeah. Es lo que yo les dije. Me gusta la textura, me gusta que tiene layers to it, porque ponerlo solamente en white lycra sería estúpido.
Yeah.
No sé, I like the costume design. I like how mysterious it looks because he doesn't look like a good guy at first. So
there's like obviously with the character, there's like a lot of Egyptian vibes with that suit. So I think it meshes well or whatever with what the character represents. I wanted what I didn't know, like what we were kind of like looking for clues was if that was. I'm assuming that's a picture of like a video shot. So there's already stuff added into that picture. Like there's already effects added onto that suit because of the white eyes and all that shit.
Yeah.
If that were to be like just a snapshot without anything added, like that's a really awesome start for that suit. You know what I mean? Like, because then they're gonna sprinkle a whole bunch of movie magic onto it and other stuff. I mean, it's a pretty good suit. I know that, like everything, like all fan bases, people are just like going to war over this thing. They're all divided or whatever already. Yeah, in my opinion, my opinion, it's a pretty cool suit. I dug it or whatever. So
yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Oscar Isaac, ¿verdad? Que va a ser.
Yes. Yeah. Oscar Isaac. Can he pull off all those personalities? Let's see.
Oscar Isaac is a legit actor. O sea, I have no concerns. Mi única preocupación con Moon Knight no es la imagen. La imagen se ve cabrona y anyway, exacto. Con todas estas cosas de suits, just wait to see it in action. Como que
exactly.
Don't wait on don't judge a picture. Pero es lo mismo de Shang-Chi. Espero que like, they don't shaft Moon Knight cuando vaya a salir, porque te apuesto lo que sea que con The Eternals it's going to be a completely different marketing strategy, porque Angelina Jolie está en eso, el cabrón de Game of Thrones.
And the director's Oscar award winning, right?
So
did she win? So they're gonna.
So I hope que exacto que nuestro colega Oscar Isaac no le pase lo mismo, que a Shang-Chi quizás le vaya a pasar. So that's my concern.
¿Cuándo son los próximos? Perdona que vuelva, ¿sabes? No desenfoquemos. When is the next announcement for Disney's projects in terms of like? I want to know like
November.
November is the D23 or Disney
I
Plus?
think it's Disney Plus Day. November 12th, I think it is, something like that.
Are we getting live action like besides
November 17 or some shit like that?
Besides Mando? No. I'm talking about Star Wars or whatever. Besides Mando, is there anything new coming out in 2022?
November 12th.
Oh, is it Obi coming out? Or Andor?
Obi Andor are supposed to be
Obi and Andor.
2022.
Oh, okay. So it's confirmed already though.
See,
there's no pushbacks or delays or whatever.
They were already filming Andor, and I think they were getting ready to start Obi-Wan, so everything's on schedule as far as I'm aware. But then again, I don't.
Book of Boba was going to be its own thing, right? That wasn't going to be like a chapter with Mando.
Its own thing.
Yeah,
its own thing. And does that have a release date?
Eso es noviembre o diciembre.
Noviembre, yo creo.
No es diciembre.
Uno de los dos.
Este año.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nigga, that's what I was telling you, that there's more than just Spider-Man that's like right around the corner that has no trailers, no previews, no I think it's a strategy that Disney's doing.
It looks like they're at least preparing us to keep our asses in the house for a long time. Like,
am I reading this right? Is it coming out December 21st?
What?
That might be.
Boba?
Yeah.
Pero
Yes.
How many episodes?
They haven't said anything, pero es que okay, si no atrasan Spider-Man, eso es Spider-Man, Star Wars, and no sé, es que hay un revuelo con Disney ahora.
Ojalá.
So give me 1 second. My mind is fried right now.
So honestly, I'm gonna say something a little bit. I wouldn't want to say controversial, but if the Marvel ship is not crashing and burning, but it's getting delayed, I have no problem with Star Wars getting all the love and all the limelight back. Like,
I agree.
More focus back on the Star Wars universe, dude, and like have them fucking shine and come back to all their fucking previous greatness. Like, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yo les dije que la estrategia de Disney Plus, y lo estoy apostando, va a ser un año Star Wars, un año Marvel, un año Star Wars, un año Marvel. Así se mantienen las cosas balanceadas. Se lo apuesto que eso va a ser como que el strategy. Y yo estoy casi seguro, yo no me acuerdo si cuando los post-credit scenes de Mandalorian se acabó, decía la fecha. Como que...
Pero esa es la cuestión. Okay, but we can't really depend on dates anymore now with all the shit going on. And they could literally say like to since we're gonna back this up, now we got to take focus off of this, and now this is the time. You know what I mean? Like,
exacto, sí, pero
shit around all the time.
So December sounds about right. And December 21st, man, it just boggles my mind because it's going to be back to back with content and in between MCU and Star Wars, which for me is good because I'm going to watch everything. However, está interesante de que el hecho de que they film wrapping Boba Fett June 8th, 2021, and Obi-Wan Kenobi taking over Los Angeles sound stages. So again, this is going to be back to back, and this is amazing for me. Sorry. Continue.
All All right, so yeah. You want to say something?
So according to IMDb, there's going to be 7 episodes of the Book of Boba.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if that's 100%, but that's what they're saying. So just so you know.
That sounds about right. With Mando, it sounds about like in contraste, but it sounds about right.
Will they be referencing each other? Ooh. Bad Batch and
is he going to make a cameo?
No,
Omega va a salir en Book of Boba.
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
Oh
Just
my
saying.
God.
Y va a ser Tilda Swinton, va a ser de Boba Fett. Omega.
What do we have left for live action Marvel shows? Hawkeye and Miss Marvel?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of shit. There's Hawkeye.
No, but I'm talking about this year.
Oh, it was supposed to be Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, but I don't know anymore.
Miss Marvel
And Hawkeye. So then I think Hawkeye is November. Miss Marvel might be coming out with Boba then.
If that happens, it's gotta be a clusterfuck.
No, because one is supposed to be in the theaters, and the other one is supposed to be straight to Disney, right?
What?
No, Miss Marvel is
Disney Plus.
What?
Todos son shows.
Miss Marvel and
There's no movie. Por eso digo. There's no movie. There's shows.
That's what I'm
Por
saying.
eso, y no van a afectarse uno al otro, porque van a ser días diferentes. Como que los que quieran ver algo van a ver lo que quieren ver. Como que yo siempre he dicho que eso es.
Marvel's gonna be now Wednesdays, right? From now on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said. It's gonna be Wednesdays. I'm not sure if they were gonna, after Bad Batch, gonna start moving Star Wars to Wednesdays too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's get into trailer talks. Like always, every episode we watch 3 trailers, give our initial reactions. This first trailer is for season 3 of Doom Patrol.
Arrival imminent.
My God.
There are mysterious things in this world that they're keeping an eye on.
My God.
I think there's something he needs to show me.
We appear to be dead.
How do you want to be remembered?
Was there another way or not?
Wake up! You're in danger!
Piffle Paffle, Bindi.
What the hell happened?
There is something weird going on.
Piffle Paffle, Bindi.
They are coming for us! But what does it all mean?
Answer your own damn question.
It's those data freaks.
Why does this crap keep happening to us?
What you're experiencing is the eternal flagellation.
We're all the way through the looking glass now.
I have not watched anything of Doom Patrol.
It's a very underrated series.
Para empezar, yo me confundí tanto, tú dijiste Doom Patrol y la mente lo que me vino fue los perritos, Paw Patrol y yo, porque estamos viendo esto.
Wow.
Okay. I also haven't seen any of the seasons of the show, but I'm assuming that the tone of this season went in that direction because of the villain, because like that show is, from what I remember, wasn't that like
trippy. That shit looks
that
wild.
trippy mentally like this that screams. Remember what was the name of that show? Legion. That trailer screams Legion to me. Nani, you seen Legion?
Yeah.
You like it?
I loved it. I only actually watched the first season, and then I haven't, and I have to rewatch it because I don't remember everything that happened before I watched it all the way.
But obviously, you know, it was like a total mind explosion. Like, it was all over the place.
I loved season 1. Yeah. I want to continue. I have to rewatch it so I can watch it to the end. But season 1 blew my mind. It was like fantastic.
Did anybody else see it?
Is in its own bubble, right?
Oh, Legion.
Mo seen it.
You saw Legion, Mo? You saw Legion? Sully, you saw Legion? You guys digged it? It was really good, right? It was crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
The second season was even crazier, and then you know it crashed and it burns really bad in the end. But
it lives within its own bubble. Right? It's not related to any other Marvel properties, anything like that.
The only thing that is relatable is that the character is supposed to be one of Magneto's sons.
No, it's
Xavier.
No,
Xavier. It was supposed to, something like that. It was supposed to be like a mutant thing. Yeah.
So the only thing I can say is that it does at one point bring actually Xavier into the fold.
Yeah.
Again, it's the show's version of Xavier. It's not like the Xavier we saw in the movies or whatever. But yeah, I think it's wrapped within its own thing. It's not related to anything else in the Fox universe. It's not canon with anything else. But it was that show literally, like that trailer screams like Legion to me. Like it's, you don't know if it's raining up or down, like it's all over the place. But that show's not known for that. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm really shocked. Now I'm intrigued. Like I might watch it.
That's why I'm intrigued. Looking at it, I was like, shit, I've been missing something. It's just already in season 3, and that shit looks wild. It doesn't look like any other, I guess, DC property that's out right now.
But it looks like now HBO is funding them. That's what it looks like.
It kind of reminds me. It kind of reminds me of like the comparison of the regular Marvel universe and then the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like the Guardian guy, the tone was like really different compared to like Iron Man and shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, so the next trailer we're gonna see is for, I think this is a Netflix show called Midnight Mass.
We tend to dislike mysteries. We feel uncomfortable not knowing. The more that we know, the less we bend, the more brittle we become, the easier to break.
That wasn't an act of God.
Wasn't it? It's okay to just look at the world and say, why, I don't understand. Why?
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Did you do that on purpose, or did you not know that?
Speaking of Legion.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, the guy in that movie is from the show.
No, how did I know we were going to talk about Legion right now?
I know. I was like, that's a little creepy. Like,
so what do you think about that trailer? I think it looks. I like some of the imagery. It looks really dope. I always go by horror by Deccan's face.
It's Mindfuck Sunday here in this room.
If Deccan looks like he's in torture, it looks like it's gonna be scary as fuck.
No. Lo que pasa es que I was trying to hear. Was he saying black? ¿Eso era lo que le estaba diciendo?
He was saying why.
Why?
I was saying. Eso fue todo. I wasn't scared.
Estaba cerquita, estaba en la vecinidad de Black and White, está bien.
Yeah. No, le pasa, estaba viendo como que las imágenes se ven como que compelling, como que llaman la atención. I was like, genuinamente no era miedo. I was watching the framing and everything. Se ve chévere, pero no la vería en un día lluvioso como hoy, por alguna razón. En un día que sé que se va a ir la luz, como que, nah.
I would watch that at 11 o'clock at night by myself in my apartment.
Exacto.
Yeah. I just noticed is like me and Mo, like the only people not wearing fucking black hair. Y'all niggas call each other. Everybody's wearing black shirts.
Yeah, we were.
Like a bachata group in here. Everybody know.
They got together.
De Club teníamos gorra ahorita, por eso fue que me quité la mía como para hacer un poquito diferente.
We're in a band, and we're going to use this podcast to jump off.
Almost everybody here is blind. So
yes, absolutely.
All right, so the last trailer we're gonna watch is for a Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh God!
Oh, I think I know what
divide the room again. Great.
I'm not even gonna say the name. I'm just gonna press play.
My granddaughter has been lost to us. I would have her return to me post-haste. And you, sir, I am told, are the man to do the job. Each arm is equipped with an explosive device. Your trousers are also equipped with explosives.
Really?
Just beyond the point where we now stand lies a highway where evil reigns.
What is this?
At the end of 5 days, if you have not returned with Bernice, Well, I think you get the idea, son. Godspeed.
This is the Ghostland, a land of no escape. We are not the ones who hold her captive. It's been 2 days, and still she is missing.
How do I get out of here?
You must surrender to fate.
I am radioactive.
No one escapes the Ghostland. No one!
I'm not a prisoner!
Yes.
That's the
Okay, so okay.
right?
Let's make a
I like
pact.
this
We're
Nicolas
all gonna
Cage
watch it. Okay.
universe. It's fantastic.
Yo necesitaba esta película después de
Yo creo que lo mejor que le pudo haber pasado al mundo es que Nicolas Cage went bankrupt and he had to take all these weird fucking movies because we are a better society because of it.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you guys wanted that underground fighting shit at the last movie that he did. There you go. There you go.
This
Totally
shit looks glorious, man. Glorious. I can't wait to see this shit.
Sí, porque yo me acuerdo cuando vi Mandy, o sea, was amazing film. Like everything that he's kept doing is so weird art house, pero with the extra little bit of Cage added to it. I'm like, yes. Cualquier cosa que le haga, like I'll watch it nowadays, frankly.
The movie gave me a lot of like Escape from New York vibes. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It gave me too many vibes. That's the
Es como que
tantas cosas estaban
make a
pasando.
deal.
Como que what happened here?
Let's make a deal. Let's watch the movie, come back, and talk about it.
We could all watch it together.
Por eso.
Crazy.
We could stream that and watch it together and get our reactions live like this.
Yo espero que si toma un twist como Pig, yo espero que everybody worships that movie. Eso es lo que yo quiero. Like, eso es lo que yo quiero. Por favor.
I was just about to tell you that. I was like, I was just about to tell you that. I was like, watch that movie, and Nicolas Cage does exactly nothing in that movie throughout the whole thing. It's all about Sofia Boutella's character, and you know,
he just explodes. El reloj explota y no hace más nada. Like, I would watch that movie.
Subverting expectations.
You said the magic phrase, subverting expectations.
Subverting expectations. All right, so this was another great episode of the After School Club. We want to give our thanks to the Triad of Force for being on the show with us.
Oh, I have one thing. I want the Triad, and I want to try this for further guests with other guests too. In the future, I just thought about it. I want you guys to give us recommendations on books, series, movies, and things that you like or that have to do with the topic at the end of the episode. So do it now.
Do it now.
Your overseers demand it. Do it now.
I'll start con Star Wars. I think in terms of publishing, yo creo que los libros que están tirando ahora de The High Republic están tan cabrones. Y la cosa cool con High Republic es que están haciendo como que interconnected stories con comic books, adult novels, YA novels, etcétera, etcétera. So like, cualquier momento you can insert yourself in the story wherever you want, ya sea como que en los Star Wars Adventure Comics, o en los Marvel Star Wars Comics, o YA novels, como ya dije. So, no he leído todo, pero todo lo que he leído so far has been like really good and really fun. So, si quieres algo diferente de Star Wars, I would recommend that, porque yo creo que all of Star Wars that we've seen recently, todo es como que rebellion, which, like, you know, it's great, but I get tired of it. Y High Republic es como completely fresh, porque it's a completely different era. So
prequel,
that would
right?
be, that is like super prequel. Eso es 200, 300 years antes de episode 1. So el único personaje que sale ahí que like we really know is Yoda, and even then he's not really a main character. So that's my recommendation, to keep it on Star Wars. Pero Nanimo watch other things besides Star Wars, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like any type of
anything you guys are watching.
Yeah, anything that you guys are watching or anything that is in the bookshelf, I don't mind.
Let's see. Bookshelf. Something that's really good. Okay, so basically anything by Brent Weeks is really good. This is the Night Angel trilogy. He's like a badass assassin. It's fucking amazing. So I would start with these ones, and then he has like I think it's maybe 5 books that he did afterwards, and they're all out. It's the other series is God, what was the name of the other series that he did? But definitely start with that one. And
the Way of Shadows.
Yeah, that's it. The first one, because this edition has like all 3 of them. So it's The Way of Shadows. Shadows.
Okay, we can like, holy shit, that's one.
This is all 3. This is all 3. It's The Way of Shadows, Shadows Edge, and Beyond the Shadows. And then the other series that he has that's amazing, that I think it's like 4 or 5 books, is the Lightbringer series, and that one's amazing too. So
I don't think my bookshelf can support the weight of that thing.
No, but
its own bookshelf.
Is that like a period thing? Like, is it in a certain time? Is that in present time? Is that like King Arthur type shit?
It's like it's not modern times, but it's not ancient times either. It's like somewhere in between in this one. And I think Lightbringer is about the same too. Yeah, it's like no cars and stuff like that, but it's more swords and daggers and
my type of shit then. Yes.
Yeah. So it's fantasy with some magic in it. That like both of them have really cool magic systems to them. So it's really I love nerdy fantasy magic everything.
Yep. You're not gonna see Toretto. Same Fast and Furious.
So I definitely recommend it. Let me know if you read it. Because it's really good, and I have like no friends that have ever read it. So
I'm writing everything down. Trust me, I'm writing everything down. What about you, Mo?
Mo?
Is Mo's mic on?
I'm muted.
I think you're muted, Mike. Mo.
Is that better?
Oh,
yeah.
For those that saw Loki and WandaVision and still want more from Marvel, Mick said it. Watch Legion. Definitely.
I can't preach enough about that show. Nobody fucking watches it. Like
that's what everything should lead forward to. If anybody's looking for something weird, I always recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh, nice!
You will not be disappointed. It's a bizarre adventure. That's what you get.
It is me, Theo.
Before we leave, I almost forgot how Sally wanted to talk about. Like we wanted to talk about what's going on with the comic book industry and the Star Wars comic book, that they're not being shipped to Puerto Rico for some reason, right? Sydney?
Yeah. Recently, my local comic book shop announced that they weren't getting anything from The Last Ronin, the new story from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they renegotiated the licensing and they excluded Puerto Rico right there and there. And the same thing has happened with High Republic Comics. They're not shipping to the locals comic book shop in the whole island. So that is something that it is. Yes. It's super hard to get it. And if you do, it's like you have to either buy it off eBay, Amazon, or somewhere else. I don't know if it's only to the stores, because I haven't checked like places like Walmart or Sam's Club where they have their own sections.
Yeah,
I know Costco has one too, but I don't know if they're also excluded for being in Puerto Rico. But they said that stores that only have base in Puerto Rico, they're not able to ship them at all. Like, and they don't have any answers. And Star Wars is also being part of that, specifically High Republic. So yeah, that's
so strange.
They belong to the same publisher, right?
Forgot the name for a second, dude. God damn it,
is.
so many names. I forgot the publisher.
IDW?
Yes,
Well,
IDW,
Star Wars does
yes.
a Marvel run in IDW.
IDW.
Yeah,
So
but-
IDW is
Yeah, but it's
basically knocking
IDW.
Puerto Rico out of the distribution list.
No,
But I'm wondering, like you
let's
said,
get on Twitter. Let's harass them.
I know.
No,
we're
they
trying.
said, yeah, my local comic book shop actually contacted the sales manager from IDW, and they just said they cannot do anything about it. And yeah, they basically said that there's nothing they can do or say. And if anybody was gonna press concerns, they actually have all the social medias tagged on the post. So, and the email that you can contact, so you can press your concerns, because that to me that's total fucking bullshit.
A mí me molesta porque yo empecé a leer Last Running, es como que yo me había quitado de leer cómics y cuando empiezo a leer Last Running es como que cuando salió esa noticia yo, what?
Yes,
Oh shit, yo pensé que
everybody.
ellos nos estaban escribiendo y yo, ah.
but yeah, it's like I'm wondering if it's Puerto Rico local comic book stores or Puerto Rican in the island. Like, because you see a lot in Walmart now. Walmart's dropping a lot of mangas. There's a lot of graphic novels.
Don't ever buy from those places. To be completely honest, it's not like they're fucking multi-billion companies. Don't buy from them. Buy from mom and pop shops. That's what I do. That's why I spend a lot of money, and I do have to pick up my comic books. Yo estaba allí ayer, but I forgot my comics. But to be really
Especialmente en la
honest,
isla, even with books,
yeah.
dude, like it feels so much more gratifying to go buy books
Eso es
from
verdad.
mom and pop shops.
Mira.
Like una franquicia que like todo el mundo es un simple número. When you go in there, you make relationships with those vendors, dude. Like,
eso es verdad.
Yeah. Para más decirte, in my area, in mi consideración, there's only one bookstore for the whole west side that brings different kinds of books. They're like hay muchas librerías, pero la mayoría son librerías cristianas y pues tienen otro market. Pero like
Goose is there, that laughs at everything. Goose is like, oh.
Eso, dígale.
Pero y solamente hay un one bookshop that is totally worth it. Me queda 1 hora de casa, está en Aguadilla, la casita bookstore.
Wow.
So yeah, they're like they ship me the books whenever I order them, just because so I don't make the trip, because we have a relationship. Nosotros fuimos en la apertura y yo casi vivía en Aguadilla when my wife used to work there, y era como que almost every week I was going there, and then you create this relationship and shit like that. It's como que if they're not gonna fucking bring me the books, I'm not gonna buy from Walmart just because Walmart is not a Puerto Rican or Puerto Rican based company or some shit like that, or store. And yeah, that is the things that we're living in now. Y eso mismo pasa desapercibido. Whatever the word is, Jesus Christ. Sí, porque no te vas a dar cuenta, because comic book shops are always going to have like older and like previous issues. You start noticing when you start collecting them and you start buying from them, but you don't see them anymore. And then you think, oh, they're not going to bring my favorite thing. It's their fault, but it's not really their fault. Y eso es algo que yo siempre he visto, de que mucha gente se queja aquí en Puerto Rico, pero no, la culpa no es de ellos. Yo he visto firsthand how distributors tell them no, and tell them, oh yeah, your package is, I cancel your order. I've seen firsthand from Capitán Granuja, where I've seen them struggle sometimes, porque ellos abrieron a mitad de María, ellos abrieron, o sea, ellos le habían cancelado órdenes, ellos tienen que bregar con gente que they treat Puerto Rico as international, and todas estas cosas que la gente se cree que es porque los comic books de aquí, los shops de aquí no quieren progresar o no lo quieren hacer, pero es que se le hacen la vida de cuadrito. O sea, literalmente, y yo creo que esto de IDW ha sido como que the last nail in the coffin para alguna gente, porque they're not gonna get less running. Y ahora High Republic, mira, I've heard marvelous things about High Republic, but I cannot get it anymore. It's como que, okay, now I have to wait until everything, like all the issues are out, so I could order some the volumes or the compendium or I don't know. And that fucking sucks.
I don't know what Sully's talking about, because I go to my Walmart, and when I ask for the variant cover of book 3 of High Republic, they totally know what I'm talking about. So like...
yeah, because of course el tipo está como que
it's gonna be like a what? Hold on. Let me scan that with the. Can I Google it first?
Let me go talk. Let me see if my manager has it on the back, and he never comes back.
Well, I used to disclaimer. I used to work at Walmart, and I used to do that to customers all the time. Like, you asked for what? You need what? Hold on, let me check in the back, and I go in the back, and I'd be like on my cell phone, like, oh, what? I like, nah, 10 minutes is too quick. Let me go. Let me give it like 5 more minutes. Nah, man, we looked for it back there. It's totally not back there. Decca's laughing because he worked at Toys R Us. I used to do the exact same shit.
I know.
This nigga left, like, didn't you leave like mid shift so we could go see Inception? Like, nigga, you had the Walmart uniform and shit on when we went to see that movie.
When Inception came out, I think I called in sick and I was in front of the building. I was in the parking lot. I was in the parking lot, and like I think they had just announced that it was at the outlets in Barceloneta. Like, oh, this is gonna be premiering or whatever. And I got to the building, and I was just like, I do not want to work today. I called Nick, and I was like, you want to go see Inception? And he was like, hell yeah, come pick me up. And I was like, I called my job. I was like, I'm not feeling good right now. And they're like, I literally I bullshit you out. The guy was like, but you sound like you're in a car. I'm like, I'm on my way to the ER. I was like, I'm on my way to the emergency room because I have a high fever. And literally, I could have gotten in big trouble because like the outlets to Manatí is like 5 minutes. That person could have wandered, saw me walking into the theaters, and I could have got shit canned.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, guys. Like we were saying, before we go, let everybody know where they can find you. Bruce, Nani, and Mo.
Well, we are Triad of the Force, and you can find us wherever podcasts can be found. We're on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. You can just search for Triad of the Force. We also have a TeePublic, so we have some shirts and stuff that you can check out.
Nice.
So
I need one. I need to get one. Yes.
Before we go, let me ask you really quick. Do you memorize the intro? Like, do you have that already down packed, or are you still reading it as that? Boom. Be like 1, 2, 3. Bow. Like, oh, intro.
Yeah. I have it memorized, yeah.
Admirable, ya que yo no sé el título del que hacemos los sábados. Es como que...
No fire, an episode where fucking Decca is the host. This is the after school program. It's the fucking intro, all the fucking time.
Lo puedo leer arriba.
28 episodes in, and you still haven't learned
29. This is 29 now.
You just gotta get to 30. 30's the sweet
30 was where everything changes.
All right, Liquid. Let them know, Liquid. Let them know where they can find you at.
You can always find me here on Twitch and in every other social media. And I don't know, maybe después de la tormenta me encontré en La Mona, pero yeah, follow me on Twitch. That's where I live, and I really need one of those shirts. I need to get one.
We our profit margin is very low. We only get $2 or $3, so every shirt counts.
No, trust me, I do the same thing because es lo mismo para mí. Don't worry about it. I know.
You guys came up with the logo. Like who came up? Which one of you three came up with the logo? All three of you guys. Goose.
Goose.
Really I thought really did the
logo. The YouTube covers, right? They be the YouTube covers are dope as fuck.
Yeah,
I like to have a Mando. You have like a Mando shirt that's like it's like a father or some shit.
El Husbando.
That was made for my husbando.
He has the first edition version of that. It's vintage now. It goes for a very high, a lot of money on it.
How about you, Deck and Migs?
Well, pues me pueden encontrar siempre aquí en XP Bridge por si me olvidar el nombre de donde estamos.
También.
I don't know, pues de repente, yo como que ¿dónde estamos? No sé dónde estábamos de repente. Pero sí me pueden encontrar aquí todos los domingos y ciertos sábados.
You can find me here on XP and Richport on the After School Club. And pretty soon you can find us on Wednesdays at 8 with a little bit of project we got coming up called Extra Credit.
Oh,
yes, I was going to say that we're going to be with Extra Credit Wednesday at 8. It's going to be on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. They're going to be shorter episodes. So this is going to be episode 29.5. We're going to be talking about What If and Titans. I'm your boy Lex. You can find XP and Richport on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or the social medias, and we will see you guys not next day. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. And deuces.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.